How's everyone? Hello! Singing along with the Minecraft soundtrack there, quite badly, as it turns out. Hello, my name is Pixelriffs. Welcome to your Tuesday Minecraft live stream. You know what day it is, because I just told you. But also, it's Choppin' Tuesday. How could we not? How could we not resist? How could we not? Luke Ladd! Luke Ladd! Absolute mad lad with the 2 months of support. Thank you so much for the resub. Can we see some sub hype in the chat, please? Thanks so much for the sub before the stream even started as well. Getting things off to a good start. It's Choppin' time. Why do I feel like there should be a Power Rangers thing after that? Mastodon. I remember MMPR. Those were great days. Connor and Alexandra also with the 2-month resub. Thank you so much for resubbing using your Twitch Prime sub here. What will we chop today? Today we're going to be chopping a Nether hub. We're going to be chopping the Nether fortress at least. So there's a whole lot of that. Whole lot of that going on. Bear with me while I do a YouTube. Hey folks, it's Choppin' Tuesday. Come join the fun as I take down the Nether fortress and clear out Nether hub space. Twitch.tv/Pixelriffs. Professional! So good! And here we are. Here we are. I should probably tweet that as well. There we go. Get them in. All the social networks covered. Except for Instagram, but I never post there anyway. What's up? Is my microphone volume down further than usual? How about now? Is that better? That was probably the worst noise to make into a microphone. Hashtag professional Minecrafters. Yes, indeed. So here we are. Choppin' Tuesday. I've just dispatched a zombie in the background of here. Can sort of see the particles still dispersing over there. Left a potato and some rotten flesh. Very nice. And today we're going to be chopping the Nether hub. Like I said, we are going to be taking down some more of that Nether fortress. Yep, thank you. Thank you. Give me some space that I can pour the tea. Got some more Lapsang Souchong in the pot. Best mic check, yeah. Just go, just sing a low C sharp into this microphone while we, No idea what that note is. I don't have perfect pitch. Hey, Rob, what's up? Welcome along. Good to see you. Hello to anyone else who is lurking in the chat, and the crowd is gathering for Choppin' Tuesday. Fantastic stuff. Right, let's do this. Let's do this. For a start, I need to drop off some supplies at the tree farm. So I'm going to head over there for a second, because it could be a tree chopping day, but I think I want to do the Nether hub stuff first. Lapsang Souchong is brilliant, but your wife hates the smell. I love the smell. The smell is the best part for me. It's very aromatic, and I like that kind of bonfire kind of smell. It's very different to, like, cigarette smoke, and I feel like a lot of people equate the two, and I disagree. It's got that natural wood smell that I really like. I quite like smoked cheese and stuff as well. Smoke-flavored stuff in general. Barbecue. That kind of stuff. I'm all about it. The junior Let me try that again. The junior cert starts tomorrow. I would probably also go if I knew what that meant, but good luck with it? Question mark? I'm not sure. Marcelia, life is great. Thank you so much for asking. Life is good. Although Mrs. Riffs is away as of today, so yeah, that's thrown my life for a bit of a loop. Not that it's a tremendously bad thing and she's going home to see her family and stuff, but it was weird coming through the door of my house and her not being here. And so, yeah, I'm currently alone for, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks now. Yeah, this is me. But she's going to be back, I think, yeah, towards the end of June, 26th, around then, sometime. I should really know this, but, yeah, I helped her book the flights. I've seen the itinerary, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. So there we go. Also not going to be paying as much attention since you're playing some Borderlands. Fair enough, Kuro, fair enough. You go ahead and you chop some people. What are the enemies in Borderlands? I've never played a Borderlands game, so I'm I'm confused. I always get that Borderlands came out around the same time as like Gears of War and stuff, and so I'm always like, it's the Locust. I'm like, no, that's not it. Not it, Chief. You expect Stardew time. Stardew time will probably happen at some point. Yeah, I think so. I think we can probably get a bit of Stardew time in. It's kind of a shame Mrs. Riffs didn't... she has a laptop, but it doesn't really have the capacity to play games. It's one of those thin MacBooks, the newer ones, and I think it's probably not got the capacity to play Stardew Valley. I think maybe it does, but probably not like super great experience, and it might overheat it a little bit. Anyone and everything is an enemy in Borderlands. Fair enough. Fair enough. The scenery and you. It will play Stardew. You play it on your air a lot. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I feel like she could, in theory, join us from the US if she wanted to. But you'll probably see it pop up in the chat at some point, but not on this stream because she is currently 30,000 feet in the air. But yeah, it's going to be possible to see her pop up in the chat here and there. And in the meantime, I guess we can do some Minecraft. We can get some streams done. I'm probably going to stream a little bit more than usual, so keep an eye on Twitter if you want to see more news of streams and etc. You're engaged to Leah. Well, I think my sister's going to have something to say about that. She'll probably say, oh, it's just a video game, because she's sensible like that. More streams, yes, likely more streams. Although not this week. This week is going to be a little bit weird in terms of schedule because my parents are coming to visit. So I will probably not be able to stream a whole bunch this week, but next week we'll be able to get some stuff done. Matthew982 with 50 bits. Thank you so much for the 50 bits. Your husband's actually over here for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. Ah. That's all I have to say about that, apparently. Ah! Why don't I go with my wife? Mostly because I have a lot of momentum with work right now, and taking 3 weeks off work is a hard ask, but she's spending 3 weeks over there, and so that would be quite a long time for me to be away. Also because it's like a family thing. It's her sister's high school graduation. There's a lot of, a lot of family stuff, a lot of travel, and adding me into that would also add to the cost. It is not cheap to fly to California, and also cost of accommodation and stuff like that while we're out there, because they're staying at like a Airbnb kind of thing, and it's cheaper for having, you know, fewer people, I guess. But yeah, mostly it was just the fact that right now work is going so well for me that I really couldn't afford to take 3 weeks off. Especially considering that apparently Minecraft 1.14 rather, 0.3 is changing a whole lot about the game, and that might be out as early as the end of this week. So it's probably a good time for me to be here and not be making like pre-recorded videos with mechanics that don't exist anymore. But yes, we're working on the Nether hub today, and we're taking down basically this entire fortress if we can. So I guess we'll stream it until it's done, and if it doesn't take all that long, we're going to do something else. But before anybody in the chat asks, no, you can't use haste to mine nether bricks, so I'm basically stuck taking this thing down one block at a time. Hope 0.38 isn't out till near the end of the month. Lots of things need tweaking. I mean, there are a lot of other bugs and stuff that need tweaking. I'm interested in the new Iron Golem spawning mechanics. I think they are good. I think they are better than the gossip system. I do kind of wish they kept the gossip system for spreading, like, major positive gossip, because that's what I basically did the whole of today's episode about. So we will see. But, yeah, apparently there are things which are messing with various aspects of the game for this pre-release. So it is just a pre-release though, so keep reporting the bugs and we'll have some stuff fixed up pretty soon. We don't use TNT for it because pigmen. If you blow up entities with TNT, they understand that it's you who's blown them up, and pigmen currently have that infinite aggro bug going on. So if I end up lighting some TNT that kills a pigman, they will, or like hurts a pigman but doesn't kill it, then they will all end up being mad at me, and I cannot afford to work on a nether hub with tons of pigmen mad at me. Woollymaster 2K with a Twitch sub. I was going to say a Twitch Prime sub, but it's not. It's a tier 1 Twitch sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. And I appreciate the support. The pigmen are awful now. Yeah, that's something else that needs to get fixed in the pre-release. I can't remember if I saw it in the changelog the other day, so maybe that's been fixed, maybe it hasn't. Definitely a problem, though. It's also the reason I haven't gone any further in making gold farms. Although I guess an overworld gold farm would still be possible. Hello, Hansel. Is my video up yet? My video about what? I have videos up every day. Every weekday, at least. Did I get a haircut? I did, yes. I decided to come back from town this morning when I was dropping off the car we hired to take Mrs. Riffs to the airport. And, yeah, I I managed to get a bus from town. And in Brighton, they have these... they have a mobile app that you can use to get on the bus, and they have these tickets that basically last for 60 minutes just so you can take a one-way trip that involves multiple buses instead of buying lots of like single tickets for several buses, right? And I managed to leave town, go get a haircut, and then get the bus from there back to my house within an hour, and I was very happy about that. It's such a small like money save, but it was like doing a speed run, basically. Speed run and getting my hair cut. What am I making? Right now I'm not making anything. I'm tearing down the Nether fortress that is going to be the area inside of here is going to be my Nether hub. Haircut speed runs for the win, yes. New PB. I'm in Brighton, yes. Brighton, UK, not Brighton anywhere else, because there are several Brightons around the world. It's always really weird to me when I look at maps of the USA, the continent of North America in general, like including like Canada and places, and I see places that are called like Plymouth, and I'm like, that's not where Plymouth is. It's all like Plymouth, Alberta, or wherever, and I'm like, that ain't Plymouth to me. Not that I'm, you know, questioning the legitimacy of said Plymouth. It's probably a colonial thing, but still. Boston, a small town in South Lincolnshire. Yes, as opposed to Boston, Massachusetts. You pronounced Plymouth wrong. Did you say Plymouth? I love hearing Americans pronounce British place names. It's like when people start talking about Worcestershire sauce, and they're like, Worcestershire, and I'm like, sit down. It's fun. It's fun having American family and getting to poke fun at them for this. Look at Springfield. Yes, which Springfield? Yeah, it's Worcester rather than Worcester. So Worcestershire or Worcestershire. Nobody says Shire unless they're talking about the Shire from like Lord of the Rings, or referring to a place as the Shire when it's like Lincolnshire or Hampshire or wherever, you know? You say you're a Shire boy. Ask them to say Welsh locations. Oh gosh. Do I watch boxing? I don't really watch boxing, no. I heard about the Anthony Joshua fight, but I saw that just on like the sports pages of the BBC, where I'm tracking stuff about tennis most of the time. You're American, and even you enjoy hearing folks mispronounce things. That's good. That's good. I like when people can have a bit of perspective, and they're not sort of incredibly defensive about those things. Like, part of the British stereotype, but also kind of the British cultural identity, is being able to poke fun at ourselves. And I like it when other folks from around the world adopt that same thing. Like, it's definitely not something that's unique to Britain, but it's something where I'm like, you know, if you don't take yourself too seriously, then we'll get along fine. And yeah, I like it when people are upfront about the fact that they've just absolutely butchered the name of something. On the other hand, you can't pronounce New Orleans properly. Well, who can? Because there's about 7 different ways to say it, apparently, and none of them are correct. Does my wife have a YouTube channel? No. She does not. You can tell who's local by how they say Baltimore? Okay. I think Nevada is one of those things as well, because it's actually Nevada, and there's like an accent over one of the letters. I forget which. There's like one of those upside down curvy shapes over one of the letters. I think it's one of the A's. And everybody ignores that because what on earth is that accent and how do you say it? I feel like it's more common for British people to say Nevada, though, because we have that, like, that long R sound for the letter A much more frequently. Like towns like Bath. Your friend from Christchurch, New Zealand, pronounced it really weirdly. There's a Christchurch near where I grew up as well, and that's another weird thing. People talk about Christchurch, New Zealand, and I'm like, you mean the one near Bournemouth, or... You love British humor, you watch Chris and Jack. Oh yeah, Chris and Jack are great. I need to listen to their podcast. I've seen Zedaf post about it, but I've not listened to any of the recent episodes. Their podcast, I think, is like A World Without, and they sort of speculate about what the world would be like without certain things. I mean, it clues in the name; it makes sense. But yeah, the concepts they go with always seem kind of fun. Kiwi can confirm we speak weird. Hello, Novahawk. Do I watch Whose Line's It Anyway? You find it one of the best British humour programmes. The original Whose Line with, is it Clive Anderson hosted that one? I'm more used to the Drew Carey version, weirdly. Like, I've seen more clips from Whose Line US than Whose Line UK. Man, I haven't thought about Clive Anderson in a while. Also, to add to the Britishness of this conversation, it's raining outside. Drew Carey is great behind the desk. He's good, yeah. Seto Amar with 100 bits. 100 Pride bits. Thank you so much for the Pride bits. Morning Pics, hope you're having a good day so far. I am, thank you. I am a little bit tired, though. I had to wake up quite early to take my missus to the airport. Can you have a beacon in the Nether if it has access on top of the bedrock? You can have a beacon in the Nether if it has a block of bedrock above it. So you can actually place a beacon in the main section of the Nether, like here. But you'd have to clear out the netherrack all the way up to the bedrock. And as we found out when I was trying to clear out the Nether fortress around the Wither skeleton farm, it's actually possible for bedrock to generate with a block of netherrack above it that you can't reach. And so in that case, you have to blow it up with TNT, and then the beacon turns on. But yeah, bedrock counts as a transparent block for the purposes of beacons being able to shine through it. I haven't seen any of the series with Aisha Tyler, actually. I bet she's really good. I quite like her in general. I've heard her on a number of things, and she's a very funny woman, so I expect that series to be really good. 1 Million Suns, yes, we are chopping the Nether Fortress today. Welcome along. Welcome to Choppin' Tuesday. This is all you're going to be seeing for the next several hours, so I hope you guys are happy with a mostly dark screen. I imagine Twitch encoding is not enjoying this, but hey. Haven't had TV service in about 15 years or more. Yeah, I only own a TV license because of the Eurovision Song Contest. Although I think it is more mandatory that you have a TV license now just for the equipment rather than for, like... I think if you have stuff like Netflix now, it is actually part of it that you need a TV license. I could be wrong about that, but I recall hearing that that was going to be the deal. Because of how many people watch TV on demand and stuff now. If you have a TV full stop, you need a license. It was not always the case in the UK, because as long as you didn't have access to TV channels, like if your aerial wasn't plugged into your TV, you still used to be able to watch like movies and DVDs and use the TV to play video games and stuff without needing a television license. It's weird. But in this country, at least the TV license pays for BBC programming, because BBC doesn't run adverts and they don't sell advertising to people. They run adverts for their own shows, but they don't, like, sell advertising space. which is why everyone finds it so weird when they come over here and they watch American football or basically any sport if they are American. But specifically when we broadcast the Super Bowl, everyone is incredibly confused because they actually talk during the changes of end and like the kind of play changes. The defensive line comes on, like there's some commentary, and they're like, "What? There's no ad breaks here?" Yes. Welcome to the BBC. Is this license like a driver's license? No. You don't need a license in order to operate the TV. That would be such a great test, though. This is the on button. Make sure you press it very carefully. Be like having a remote control car license. PC operator license is something this world would appreciate. Can you turn it off and on again? TV license is pretty much our way of paying more tax for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Well, you're paying more tax for having the BBC, which, I don't know, in my opinion is kind of worth it. I much prefer listening to or watching BBC stuff than I do anything that has regular advertising, so I'm all for it. But yeah, the TV license is basically television tax to fund the BBC. I think the BBC does good work. Donkey994, first time catching me live. Hello, welcome along. Welcome to the Tuesday live streams, Choppin Tuesday. We have Eamon Gerber, sorry. I was like, Earmonger? I was like very confused by that name for a second. Eamon Gerber with 500 bits. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Sorry for butchering your name the first couple of times. We got there though. We got there eventually. You watch virtually no BBC now? I dabble. I dip in and out. It totally depends. But yeah, they've had some good stuff on in the past, and yeah, I feel like, personally, I'm just in favour of the BBC just existing in general. And the BBC doesn't just do broadcast television. They fund other stuff too. And it's, you know, it's a broadcasting corporation, but it's not just like, these are the channels that we have. There's radio, there's online stuff. There's probably some film funding in there as well, you know? Give you a project for your first build. Build a farm. Build a farmhouse and a barn and some cool stuff like that. Alexo with 200 bits says, "Hey Pix, I've started playing Minecraft again after last playing it in 2013. The Minecraft Survival Guide is the best and most entertaining tutorial series I've come across so far. Hope you keep it up for a while. Cheers." Well, thank you so much, and thank you Dapsy for the 49 bits. Wow, you guys are killing it with the bits today. Thank you. The bit train is leaving the station. Oh, hello. We have a visitor. I love the fact that the wither skeletons sometimes walk out of the fortress and just look around and they're like, nope. They just walk back. I'm like, sure, buddy. Go for it. Ah. They always turn right as I'm about to give them the chop. You know what day it is. Build a farm. A farm that produces what? Animals. I'm thinking of having a YouTube channel. What do you think? I think you are probably within your rights to start a YouTube channel. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Yes, by all means, start a YouTube channel. I'm not going to be like, no! How dare you intrude upon YouTube, the sacred space that we, content creators, have designed for ourselves? I can't even say it with a straight face. Be like everyone else and make a YouTube channel. Start a Vimeo, that'll show them. The main problem is how we're going to get to this bit. at this point. I'm not sure. I'll make a ladder out of shulker boxes. There it is. Boop. Dealt with. Really wish wither skeletons were susceptible to lava, but they're not. Wow, there's a lot of them, though. Excuse you, and also, 500 bits, again, from Seto. What's one of my favorite things about being a Minecraft YouTuber and streamer? Getting to interact with people, reading the comments, chatting to people on Twitch, and sharing my stuff with everybody. The main reason I started playing Minecraft on YouTube was really just so I could have a space to share some of the stuff I was building on the Xbox version, because I didn't have any local friends who wanted to play. I played with a couple of people from work here and there, but yeah, the main reason I was interested in starting a YouTube channel in the first place was because I was building some fun stuff in Minecraft on Xbox, but I wanted to be able to share it, and that's why I was so happy to join the Decidedly Vanilla server. Thanks to Rob, if he's still in the chat. He's there! Who's responsible this? It's him, that man. Wish there was more resources to mine in the Nether in the end. Yeah, I can see why there isn't, in terms of the gameplay perspective, but it's also something that gets added quite frequently with mods, is like, the Nether needs ores, the End needs ores. Personally, I like the idea of Minecraft adding more resources that aren't ores. Because if you look at stuff like chorus fruit as an example, that's basically, it operates kind of like an ore except not. Are we going to keep this flint and steel? I don't know why I'm keeping it, but I'm keeping it. But yeah, you farm it in a different way to ores, but then eventually you end up using it to make blocks, right? Ultimately, that is, it's another way of providing a resource other than it's just stuff that you dig out of the ground. It's used in crafting recipes and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think there are more ways to present stuff than just you dig it out of stone. I'm interested in seeing what they can do with other materials like that. And things that make it unique to the landscape instead of relying on it being stuff you would dig out of stone. He basically forced you to make a YouTube channel. Is this my first Nether Fortress? Actually, no. This was my second Nether Fortress, which is silly because this one's basically directly behind where my Nether portal was. But it was covered by netherrack at the time, so I didn't see it. And I ended up exploring over that way and eventually found the Nether Fortress that I'm pretty sure is the one I've used for a wither skeleton farm now. Except this fortress was about 10 blocks away from where I started. Do I ever drink warm bean juice? Brackets, coffee. Bean juice. I don't drink coffee all that often, but I do drink it sometimes. I love the smell of coffee more than I like the taste. I also like coffee-flavored stuff. Like if there's coffee and chocolate together in a thing, give me that. I want that. I'll drink a mocha occasionally. Or an iced flat white when they have those at Small Batch Coffee in Brighton. Oh, they're so good. I had 2 of those once when I was out just hanging out with somebody, and I was wired. They were so tasty. But yeah, I mostly drink tea at home. I've explained my reasons before, but mostly it's because of like coffee having a higher caffeine intake, and when I drink coffee I tend to feel a bit more tense. And it may be a placebo thing. It may be that for whatever reason only having twice the caffeine of a cup of tea. A cup of coffee is just, for whatever reason, it seems like in my head I should be more affected than I am. Anyway, we have another 105 bits from Eamon. Thank you, Eamon. Asking, am I a full-time YouTuber? I basically am at this point. I still have a part-time job, but I create YouTube content 5 days a week, and it takes up the majority of my what I think of as my work time. I definitely spend more time on it than I do on my full-time, my part-time job. So, yeah, I consider it a full-time gig now. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't do like an announcement video because it's happened very gradually. It's not been one of those things where I'm like, I've decided that I'm quitting everything and going full-time, because I haven't really quit anything yet. Another 20 bits from Seto asking, do I have any favorite blocks or items? My favorite block is emerald ore. And as far as items go, I don't know. It varies. It varies from day to day. I like dark prismarine as well as far as blocks go. I think that's one of the prettier building blocks. What am I working on today? I am taking down this nether fortress because it's in the way of the nether hub I want to build. The nether hub I want to build. You are 100% pure black espresso, are you? How do you type? Must be all sloshy on the keyboard. Kind of like magma blocks. Magma blocks are cool, and they've got some good uses. Very convenient for mob farms and the like. But like aesthetically, you just like into the look of magma blocks, because that's cool too. You live next to a small coffee company, they're roasting today and it smells good. Oh, that's the best. I feel like that would be the ideal experience of coffee, is being able to just smell it the whole time, but not have to taste it necessarily. That's unfair. I think coffee can be quite tasty. I'm just one of those people who likes to drink coffee with, like, the kind of the Starbucks way, where there's too much milk and sugar. Your Twitch isn't buffering now. Congrats. Enjoy it while you can. That was weird. An ambulance or some sort of emergency vehicle just started up its siren in the road outside, and at first I thought it was a seagull making a noise, and then it just didn't stop. It kind of went, "Arr!" And I was like, what kind of noise is that? And then I identified it as an ambulance, and I was fine. What did I think about the Game of Thrones finale? Asks Percolas with the 20 bits. I didn't watch it. I have not watched Game of Thrones since season 4. You're equidistant between a coffee roaster and a bread place. Oh my goodness, the smells. All you need then is for somebody to cut the grass outside of your place, and you've got the trifecta of smells people like. Milk and tea is still crazy weird to the majority of the USA. Yeah, that's because you guys drink tea cold. Add milk to the hot drinks. Do I have a beacon? I do. I don't need it here, though. You have some iced tea right now. Congrats. I've actually started cold brewing some tea again. We went back to our tea shop in Brighton and got some fruit tea that I'm currently cold brewing in the fridge. And it's got papaya chunks and stuff in it, and it's really nice. Hot tea is more appropriate most of the year. In the UK it is. You can see why it's kind of our national drink. It's because most of our days are dull and overcast. We need the tea. Also because colonialism, but we won't get into that. Just join. What are we doing? As you can see from this demonstration, we are taking down the Nether fortress that is intersecting with the area I want to turn into my Nether hub. And discussing tea. Yes, and we're discussing tea. I will need to do something with all this nether brick eventually. I have no idea what that's going to be. Seto, they say you are what you eat, and this applies to drinks as well. How much of me is tea? Probably about 60%. I think tea is probably the thing that I drink the most consistently lately, other than, like, water. And we're already about 98% water or something, so... I think that counts. Build an evil castle. I've already used a lot of nether brick in the roof of my non-evil castle. At least I assume it's not evil. Isn't Java going to be phased out sooner rather than later? Nope. They've announced no plans to sideline the Java version. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know, why would they throw away a decent chunk of their community? Java players are by no means the majority, but they are a lot of the time the most vocal players, and some of the most dedicated. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they've confirmed they have no plans to phase out Java Edition at all. Do I live in London? No. Guess again. What about my medieval castle? It doesn't count. Also, the evil part of medieval is spelled with an A, so... Not to mention the fact that the creative leads in the Mojang team all develop out of the same office that the Java version is developed out of. It would be really weird if they just effectively fired everyone at the Mojang office and Microsoft just made Bedrock Minecraft forever. Do I live on Earth? Most of the time. Why is Endgame one of my tags? Because I am at Endgame in this game. I've beaten the Ender Dragon, I've killed the Wither. Endgame as a concept is nothing to do with the Avengers movie. What would I define as endgame in Minecraft? Basically, once you've raided end cities. And that sounds like I'm making some kind of joke based on the fact that it's called endgame, but really, like, once you have beaten the dragon and got yourself some shulker boxes, there ain't much further you can go up the tech tree than that. Getting a beacon, maybe. And that's why I think, yeah, like, fight the dragon, fight the wither. Basically, once you've fought the ender dragon, you are in endgame. I think also there's something to be said for having easy access to resources being basically what brings you to to Endgame in Minecraft. So if you have automatic farms for stuff, and you no longer need to go gather resources in the traditional way, then yeah, that probably counts too. Hey, Pride Ceratops is here. Happy Pride Month. Will the series really end soon? What series? My series? No. When did I say that? I can't believe they gave you your own month. I know. Really making a name for yourself. What are my thoughts on microtransactions in Bedrock? I think they make sense for the longevity of the game, and it's nice that creators get paid for the stuff they make. But yeah, ultimately it's still possible to play and use a whole bunch of this game without having to buy anything extra, so it's really up to you whether you want to invest that money, and some people have the money to do stuff like that, which is fine. I think it is much better practice in terms of business practices, not like practice like repeating something until it gets better, although I guess that might apply too. But it is a better business practice for Mojang to, or Microsoft maybe, I'm not quite sure who's responsible for it, but for them to work with Minecraft creators to set up the Marketplace Partner Program and allow creators to make revenue on the hard work they put into Minecraft maps that otherwise they would just build for the approval of the community, compared to folks like Epic Games who rip off artists to make Fortnite skins and then don't credit them, much less actually pay them. What are my thoughts on Minecraft Realms? I mean, it's good that Mojang has a hosting service. Probably makes it a lot easier for people who don't really know much about the other hosting services that are out there. Personally, I don't use them, but I think it makes a lot of sense for Bedrock players as well, because having a permanently online server is kind of a nice thing when your other alternative is leave your console on permanently so people can connect to it. I think it makes more sense for Bedrock players than it does for Java, but that's because Java has had independently hosted servers for a while. Seto with another 20 bits asking what are some of my favourite mobs. I like all of them really, except for Silverfish. Silverfish are useless, but all of the others are quite good. I like the design of phantoms. I like the mechanics of Endermen and Guardians. Hey, Jedi Joe, good to see you. Do I have an Xbox? No. I had an old Xbox 360. It red ringed a while ago. Hey, Ace Combat. It's going very well. Thank you for asking. Do I have any idea of what could be the next big update for Minecraft? It's going to be something related to combat and potentially have a change or an addition to the way we craft tools and armor. And bows and that kind of stuff. I'm thinking it might just be tools, but if there is a combat update, then it's going to be interesting to see if armor gets any changes as well. Especially considering that stackable protection is a thing now. How about bats? Bats are cool for atmosphere. And I agree, Surprise T, an inventory update would be very useful. We talked about that on yesterday's episode of the Spawn Chunks, by the way. And if you guys aren't interested, then I'll stop talking. But if you are interested, I do a podcast about Minecraft every week, It is called The Spawn Chunks. You can find it at thespawnchunks.com. Paranor has just popped a link in the chat for you guys. We also have a YouTube channel where episodes get uploaded if you don't want to leave that fun YouTube ecosystem, although you guys are here on Twitch, so I would be surprised if you didn't leave YouTube. Hopefully Cave Exploring gets an update. I think that might happen at some point in future, but for now, I don't think they plan to touch that quite yet. I think they have actually confirmed that caving is not going to be severely affected by the next update. YouTube is the most convenient place to listen on a PC. I guess so. I guess so. You want to see a new boss. What would it be and what would it do? Watch out for the pick's durability. It is literally at 500 and it's got Unbreaking 3. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. If you're going to get antsy about the pick's durability right now, we're going to have a hard time later on. AFK fish farms got patched. They'll find another way. The community always finds another way. And ultimately, you can just fish. It's not like fishing is going away. Do I know how many diamonds I have? Not really. Not off the top of my head. I don't think about them much, because you don't really need them. Can I not put a beacon in the nether to make mining nether brick faster? Nope. Doesn't work like that. You need haste 4 in order to mine nether brick at the same speed as you can speed mine stone with haste 2, or the same speed you can get rid of netherrack. And it is not possible to achieve haste 4 without using commands. How do I color code my shulker boxes? Basically, I pick whatever item. If I want them to store a specific type of item, I pick the color closest to what color that item is. Or it's thematic, so like scaffolding goes in a brown box because it's kind of brown. Likewise, wood. Leaves and stuff will go in a green box. The boxes I've got with me right now are just this color because they were in the ender chest and they were empty. At some point I wanted to complete the full set of colors because I didn't have them all. And, yeah, like that's why I brought all of the purple and pink ones. They're not specifically for storing this nether brick. I just had them available to me at short notice. No wither skulls, but at least we didn't get withered this time. What are some of my fondest memories from when I was just starting the game? I had a map where I used my birthday as the seed. And this was on the Xbox version, so the worlds were kind of small. But that's the version that I started playing. Xbox 360 at the time. This was April 2014. And it's really funny looking back on it because I was so scared that when I opened a nether portal, like, evil stuff was going to come flooding into the world. Like it was a Pandora's box kind of portal, that I built it on a mushroom island because I'd heard mobs didn't spawn there. Which, you know, I was right, they didn't, but they wouldn't have spawned if I'd built the nether portal anywhere else either, so... But that world was about 80% water. Like, so much of it was an ocean. I spawned on one little island in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. In, like, the southwest. and I wanted to explore the entire thing. I was like, I'm going to build a house at all 4 corners of the map. It turned out the 4th corner was entirely underwater. So I built a house there anyway. I did it underwater. It was the first time I realized you could actually clear out water from a house if it was, like, flooded. And there wasn't any sponge in the game at that point either, so I did it all with, like, layers of dirt. But I looked up the tutorial on the Minecraft wiki for, like, how to make a house underwater, and I don't think sponge was even mentioned because that update for the game hadn't come out yet. The one that included guardians and everything. But I like to see penguins added to Minecraft. The penguins in Twilight Forest are great. So I feel like penguins would be a cool addition, but I feel like they'd be another ambient mob, because I don't know if Mojang would want to make penguins into anything, like, useful. Considering they added polar bears, and polar bears weren't particularly useful, and people don't like them. What's the best kind of XP farm you could make as soon as possible? I mean, as soon as possible is a weird one. Depends what area of the game you're at. Depends what level of gameplay you're looking at right now. If you're at the end of the game, like if you've unlocked the end and beat the dragon and everything, make an Enderman farm. It's one of the best XP farms there is anyway. But if you're still just starting out, I recommend making a farm with furnaces smelting stuff. Just set up like a cactus farm. Have it feeding into a furnace. Set up a bamboo farm to fuel the furnaces if you can as well. And then have the furnaces extract the items using hoppers, but have a way you can lock the hoppers so that you can get the XP from them later. But yeah, furnace-powered stuff is actually very, very good. Is my stream ending? The outro music is playing. It's only the outro music for my YouTube channel, not for the streams. Angelo, good thing you opened your Twitch. You found me! Welcome along. I get asked a lot on my YouTube videos what the outro music is. It is Droopy Likes Ricochet from Minecraft Volume Alpha. Turns out there was gravel there. Who knew? Mend the pick? Nah, it's got 363 durability. That's good for another 1200 blocks. It's got Unbreaking 3. Like, unless the bar is red and, like, on the last few pixels of that sprite, we are all good. Thank you. Who do I think Droopy is in C418's mind? It's probably the cartoon dog. Ew. I'm so sad. That's a terrible Droopy impression. I can't do his voice. Is Minecraft the only game I play? No, it's the only game I play on videos and on streams now, but it's definitely not the only game I play or have played. Before this on streams, I was playing through the entire like Final Fantasy JRPG series. We got as far as FF10, but then it was clear that Minecraft streams were going to be much more popular, and I actually had something I wanted to do on them, so I've been streaming Minecraft consistently ever since. That was a generally terrible Droopy dog. Yeah, I'm not good at voices. Hey, Braindead Cirky, welcome along. Good morning to you. Am I excited for the FF7 remake? I guess, yeah. With retrospect, FF7 is not my favorite of the Final Fantasy games, but it's, you know, they've been talking about remaking it for a long time, and it's good to see that that's actually getting results. The resulting game looks pretty cool. I think it looks closest of the ones I've played, or the ones I've seen played. It looks closest to FF15, but I've not played that one at all yet, even though I own it. So, I'll probably have to give that one a try sometime to see if I would like the gameplay from 7 Remake, but I've never played Crisis Core as well, and some people have said it looks like Crisis Core, so that might be better for people who didn't like FF15. Am I planning on making my own public server? No. Public servers are an enormous expense to host, and right now I do not have the resources for that. Required dosage. First time watching the Twitch. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you. I will. Required dosage. When you're remaking it, you thought it might be a cleaner and new pixel art style. Kind of like Octopath Traveler. I would love to see them remake FF6 with Octopath Traveler's aesthetic. I still need to play that game too, now that I've actually got a Switch. But once again, it would probably take a lot of my time away from Minecraft. Although that's not really been the case with Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild is a different experience altogether, and is quite rewarding for occasional play, like pick up and play and then put it down. Like, when I do anything in Breath of the Wild, I tend to do it in, like, short bursts. Like, I'll open up the game, I'll find and complete 2 shrines, I'll put it down again, you know? Who's my favourite hermit? I do not have a favourite hermit. Which is not to say I dislike any of them, it's more that I can't pick a favourite, because that would be silly. That would be favouritism. Zach Payne, I have done 2 Terraria Let's Play series on my YouTube channel, which you can go and watch if you're interested in those. At the time, not a lot of people were, which is how come I don't play more of it. But, yeah, I did an original normal mode Let's Play where I had no idea what I was doing. It was my first time playing the game. I did eventually look some stuff up on the wiki to find out what the deal was with some of it, but it's probably a little bit painful to folks who are, like, really into Terraria. And then I did an expert mode playthrough with my friend the Cirque, who's also a member of the Decidedly Vanilla crew and a streamer here on Twitch as well. And that was fun. We had a good time. I don't play it often, but it's one of those games like Stardew Valley, which runs quite well on my laptop, so I'll play it when I go on holiday. Occasionally I start up a new Terraria world and just putz around in that, but controlling it with a trackpad is not fun, but it's alright. I remap some stuff, some of the controls, to make it a little bit easier. Like something Stardew Valley does, which I really think more games should adopt if they rely on keyboard and mouse controls, is map something to also be right-click. Like map the action button, because my MacBook Pro only has one trackpad, one button, and in order to right-click, you have to like press it down with 2 fingers, and it's weird and unintuitive to me. It works for Mac applications, but for gaming it sucks. So I really think they should have, like, in Stardew Valley, if you use the, I think it's either the X or the C button, it basically does the same thing as right-click. It's like an alternative action button, but they both work. So you can do it one way or the other. Whereas in Terraria, you actually have to rebind the right-click action kind of button to X or C if you want to use those. Am I going to do another Couple Clicker series style thing with Zloy again? Depends entirely on whether or not there's a map good enough for us to do that with. Because the whole point of Cobble Clicker was that it was it had potential. Like, we saw that map and we were like, yeah, it's basically like a modded skyblock experience in Bedrock, right? Which is great. The reason we didn't do more episodes of Opposite World was that there really wasn't much to that map. There were 3 quests you could do. The third one was kind of extraordinarily hard. And we didn't think it was really worth it. For the amount of effort that had been put into the map, it was basically just a really detailed spawn area and a wacky set of mechanics, and there was no depth to it. Whereas Cobble Clicker, there was actually like a ton of new stuff in it, and I think Pathway did a great job on that map. Why am I taking apart the Nether Fortress? Because this whole area with the stone slabs is going to be my Nether hub, and this fortress is in the way. I don't want to keep it there because it's going to spawn fortress mobs like blazes. And I would prefer to have a Nether hub without them in it. What's the dumbest thing I've done in Minecraft? Yeah, look at that clip Paranor put in the chat. You will understand. I've not played Knights of the Old Republic, no. I know of it, but I've never played it. I've never played a Star Wars game beyond, like, the original TIE Fighter games. The ones where, in order to play it, you probably had to have a joystick controller. Like an actual flight joystick, as opposed to just a controller with an analog control thing on it. Not enough games that require flight joysticks anymore. Wow, okay. Hello! What on earth? Skeleton's AI freaking out on the slabs. Oh my days. Good thing Wither skeletons aren't like that. That guy was living his best life. Or undeath, or whatever it is they have if they're skeletons. It's really funny though. Love to see me do an Ether playthrough. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out for the future. Alright, buddy. A little bit keen. Also, almost sliced that pigman with sweeping edge attack. That would not have been good. I always want to call it sweeping edge, even though it's not. Like, sweeping edge is the enchantment, and it just affects that, but it's nothing to do with the actual attack itself. Okay, we're on 143 now. We're getting close to mending this pickaxe. Or just switching to the fortune one, I guess. How many Wither skeletons have I killed now and I've just not received a skull because this game hates me? When did I start playing Minecraft? April 2015? I want to say 2015 or 2014. Yeah, 2014. That good dodging skeleton. Only 15 days till the anniversary for 1 year of the survival guide. Really? I hadn't even thought of that. Mochaggino, another 20 bits. The stream interrupted me watching the episode from today. Well, I guess the stream is happening live. You can always go back and watch the episode separately. Mochaggino with a host. Thank you for the host. Well, that's going to annoy me. Give me all my blocks back. Oh, excuse me. How do I not get bored of Minecraft? I always find some new stuff to do. It's pretty straightforward, really. I admit that might be difficult for some folks. It's not for me. I just have a broader attention span, perhaps. Yes, I got my hair cut. I did. What's my most favorite redstone item personally? I really like observers. I think observers and pistons are probably my favorites, but yeah, observers are basically what has helped me understand redstone recently. Like when I wanted to get into redstone, just the fact that observer mechanics exist is a huge benefit. Because in order to get a one-tick pulse before, you had to run a redstone signal through a block and make one of those monostable circuits. And that probably wasn't the only way to make a one-tick pulse. I mean, you could probably flick a lever on and off really fast or something if you wanted to, but it's just the fact that observers made it possible to do that with a single block. They're very good. Any special plans for the 1-year anniversary of the survival guide? Well, somebody's only just told me it exists, and I didn't realise before, so no, I haven't made any plans yet. I don't know if I will, to be honest. Because, like, I get that while you're watching it live, all of that stuff makes sense. Like, while you're watching the episodes as they are coming out. But then, for people who go back and watch that as a tutorial series to learn how to play Minecraft, and it's not coming out day and date, and it's like, these are episodes which are maybe 6 months to a year old, for me to go like, oh, it's the 1-year anniversary of me making this series, like, it doesn't really have any weight anymore. And it's also not really relevant to the tutorial. Not that, like, I mean, half of the stuff I do in the videos isn't relevant to the tutorials, as people in the comments keep reminding me, but it's also... Yeah, I feel like stuff like that shouldn't necessarily apply to a series that I want to be evergreen in the first place. It's why I didn't do a survival guide episode in which I said, I hit 100,000 subscribers, yay! Like, I made that a separate video because I felt it had nothing to do with the survival guide. I don't know, my thoughts on it are complex and weird. Do the secret achievement for the anniversary? I mean, no, because apparently I only have like a week left to do that, and getting How Did We Get Here is a very complicated process, especially in 1.14. Official Joy Effects. I play with subtitles because it helps people who are watching and are deaf or hard of hearing to understand what is going on in the first place. Sometimes Minecraft can be a confusing game, and sometimes I also play with the sound turned down. And playing with subtitles on is helpful to people. It's an accessibility thing. Also, it's really helpful when you go caving. There was a blaze there for a second. Now there is not one. I've not received my silver play button. It should come at some point this month, but yeah, it's on order, but I haven't got it yet. Bloopers. Bloopers would be great if I had any of the raw footage from previous episodes, but I really don't. Like, I keep my raw footage for a month at most, and then I delete it because otherwise my recording drive would become very full very quickly. I have a lot of netherrack, it turns out. Did I make this empire by myself? I wouldn't call it an empire, but yes. Yeah, this is a single-player world, so everything here has been built by me. I should make merch once I reach 150k subs. I'm trying to make merch now. I have all sorts of plans for merch, but yeah, that relies on artists more talented than myself to make it, and yeah, sometimes these things take time. I can't just whip merch out of thin air for 150k, it doesn't work like that. But I appreciate your enthusiasm, and hopefully you'll get to see some Pixel Riffs merch hitting the proverbial shelves at some point in future. Just going to store all the nether brick in here. I say all the nether brick as if I don't just have tons of it anyway. Over by the Wither Skeleton farm. For sure a mug. Mugs are actually some of the least profitable types of merchandise you can make as far as I'm... I think I've heard that at least. Joel Duggan said that, yeah, mugs are... They're not very... Because you have to make them in such large batches, they're not very good for, like, print-on-demand products. So I've been discouraged from making mugs. And I feel like in those cases I am going to defer to the people who have that kind of knowledge, because it's not something that I've ever tried to do before. Okay, those are all now empty. This one is completely full of nether brick. So I guess we'll put it in here. Probably come back to that later and question why it's blue. Can vouch for bad mug sales? Yeah. I think you're only going to turn a profit if you can mass produce them, ship them yourself, and you don't have... And you have, like, high prices for them. Do I watch other Minecraft tutorials for the survival guide? I try not to. I try and make a lot of the stuff that happens in this series basically original content as much as possible. I have on occasion watched tutorials just to figure out how certain mechanics work, and sometimes it's unavoidable. Like, I'll see something in Hermitcraft and I'll go, oh, that's great, because I watch Hermitcraft for the recap videos, but then I try and credit people where I can. Obviously, there are some redstone discoveries that were made by some people that now are such common devices that I don't know who made them in the first place. So somebody called me out for, like, not crediting Etho when I built a hopper clock. And I thought hopper clocks were just a thing everybody did. I didn't realize that we had to credit Etho every single time we made one. Which, you know, maybe saying it that way makes me sound more sarcastic than I actually am, but it's one of those weird things where I've seen people build hopper clocks 1,000 times and not all of them have said, like, this is Etho's design and all credit goes to him, kind of thing. Like, it's... And if Etho didn't figure it out, somebody else would have, you know? But I try not to watch other people's tutorials too much because I don't want to rip anyone off, even subconsciously. But as far as understanding mechanics and stuff like that, I try and follow information from the Minecraft wiki where I can be convinced of its accuracy, and the rest of it is just me muddling through by myself. Forgot new haircut, yes. For sure do t-shirts. Yeah, no, t-shirts is the main thing I'm thinking about right now. Any of the emotes Joel Duggan has designed might also end up being turned into stickers. Okay, a little bit of rubber banding while it spawns some wither skeletons. Good. Hello. Yeah, space mug stickers might happen. So you might not get a mug, but you might get a sticker of a mug that you could put onto a plain mug if you bought it, maybe? I don't know. DIY space mugs. Build your own. A lot of merch places do pins and stuff now, like enamel pins, and I don't know if I'm really into that, but if they were a popular thing, then I don't know, maybe. Hey, we got one. Not that I'm actually after wither skeleton skulls here, but it's nice to get them because wither skeletons are a pain to deal with. Make the stickers dishwasher proof. I don't know if I have the technology. Yeah, I've tried my best to give people credit. But ultimately, when it comes down to things that are like gameplay mechanics and stuff, that is a bit of a nebulous and hazy process. Like if a specific gameplay mechanic was discovered by somebody, then occasionally people expect you to give credit where I don't know. It's a bizarre ecosystem. The blaze just despawns. I took one look at him and he was like, nope, I'm out. Which I wish more blazes would do, to be honest. Only Nether hub today? Possibly, possibly not. Depends how quickly we get this stuff done and how long I want to stream for. Teleported into another plane of existence. That's what despawning is. I have that penitive stare. I was going for thoughtful. I don't stream on YouTube because I started off streaming on YouTube, actually, and streams work weirdly when it comes to analytics for your YouTube channel. If you upload your streams after the fact, they never do well, which tends to affect your channel's overall discoverability, because the YouTube algorithm rewards stuff that gets lots of views. And while obviously I could get a bunch of views on the stream itself because I have a ton of subscribers, it would be kind of troublesome for my channel, I think. But also because I think Twitch has a better ecosystem for streaming in general. I think YouTube tries to do too much, and that leads to poor decision making when it comes to implementing new features, as we've seen from recent days. But also, I don't think their live streaming platform is as good as Twitch's. And yeah, YouTube live chat was very difficult to moderate for a long time. And they're so behind on some features. Like, they only just really implemented stuff like channel memberships so people could get custom emotes. And the emotes on YouTube are really bad. Like the smiley faces and stuff, they just look kind of terrible. I'm not into that. Twitch chat, you can type commands. YouTube, you can't. I thought Nightbot worked with YouTube. I could be wrong about that. YouTube doesn't have Kappa. That's a pretty solid reason, actually. Twitch has its own in-jokes and its own emote system, and I feel like Twitch... People come to Twitch knowing what to expect. My experience with streaming on YouTube was that all I would get asked about was, like, what my next YouTube video was. How is Mrs. Riffs? Airborne right now. I'll find out how she is in about 7 hours. When she lands. Kappa and LOL are irreplaceable. Yeah, pretty much. I quite like Whatface as well. YouTube also has more audio-video problems like desync or stuttering. Yeah, and I upload all of my streams to a second YouTube channel afterwards, so it's not like YouTube, as an audience, necessarily misses out. But personally, I think Twitch has just built itself the right niche in terms of being a live streaming platform that, while it has its problems, is still great for discoverability, and it's got its own culture. It doesn't carry the association that YouTube comments section has for toxicity. Twitch has a toxicity all of its own, but I think people are browsing YouTube just in order to be toxic in some cases, whereas I find less of that happening in my Twitch chat. It may just be that I have a quieter Twitch chat, but also Paranor keeps a tight ship around here, so I'm very happy about that. We are most of the way done clearing out this section of the fortress, though, which is pretty great. Good progress so far. Seto with another 200 bits. Thank you for the 200 bits. You have to go do actual adult stuff now. Buy pics, buy stream. Have a great day. Have a great day yourself, Seto. Thank you for all the bits. Very kind of you to stop in and check out the stream today. By the way, I feel kind of bad. I mentioned the Pride cheer thing on my last stream, and I reread the email, and apparently that didn't come into effect until tomorrow, I think. It's today or tomorrow. And for Pride Month, they're having this mega cheer thing that means that if you cheer 200 bits in a single cheer, they donate to the Trevor Project. I think that's the deal. How high am I going to clear the Nether? It depends, really. I'm going to start with this level, but then we're going to do other levels of the Nether Hub another time. So it's probably going to go one level higher than this. And then there's going to be a ladder up to the ceiling. And there's going to be another circle on top of the ceiling. That's going to be the gold farm. Tips for making a Nether Hub. Use slabs so that stuff doesn't spawn. Like this. You'll notice that there aren't any zombie pigmen in this entire radius. And that is because I've built it using bottom half slabs. The hub is basically for having a safe space in the Nether that I can also use for rapid transport to get to other areas of my world. Because the Nether and the overworlds operate on different scales. Traveling 1 block in the Nether is equivalent to traveling 8 blocks in the overworld, so having a Nether hub allows you to access different areas of your world faster. Betty Kills has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. Have I tried going to Nether ceiling? Yes, I did that for an episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. Got up to the Nether ceiling, broke some bedrock. I'm not building the gold farm yet because the zombie pigman aggro problem means that making a gold farm right now means I would not be able to really do a whole lot around the rest of the Nether. Although I guess I could make a turtle egg gold farm and kill them passively, but the whole point of this is going to be to make an aggro-based mob farm. Can you still break bedrock in 1.14? I believe you can. It's a different method than the one I demonstrated in that video, because breaking bedrock is one of those things that's not intended, so it's always going to be patched eventually, but there are different methods to do it. The piston displacement thing doesn't work anymore, from what I understand, but I think a few people have a tutorial video about it. I made a turtle egg based farm before, yes, but the advantage of building it on the nether roof is that you can get away from any spawnable space in the nether. So you have a much higher likelihood of getting very high zombie pigman spawn rates, because there's nowhere else they can spawn if you build a platform right. Can I do a collab with Mumbo and Grain about a Minecraft world using only redstone for farms and builds? No. I mean, in theory I could, but in practice that's just not going to happen. Just clear out a perimeter in the nether. Yeah, sure. Just clear out 128 blocks circular or spherical radius around the player. I have attempted to improve the efficiency of that passive turtle egg gold farm by slabbing some areas of the nether, but it's too wide a radius considering that the nether is only 128 blocks high, so you have to slab everything from where you stand down to lava if you're at the nether ceiling. It's a huge area. Am I planning for multiplayer? No. Decidedly Vanilla is basically on a permanent hiatus now, and I don't see myself playing anything multiplayer anytime soon. It is sad that haste doesn't work on nether brick. You're correct. I really wish haste worked on more stuff. Or I guess it does, but I wish the haste effect you can get with a beacon was more viable for use on other materials. I'm glad netherrack is easily mineable, but apparently the game isn't, so just decided to rubber band there for a second. Uh-oh. That ain't good. We have ghost blocks. They're not supposed to be a thing. Although, it did kind of rubber band and freak out there for a second. So I think that's probably... Oh, man, I have not missed this. Anything else? It rained at the Chalk Art Festival on Sunday. Oh no. Just looked at the DV players and you recognise Schnicks. Cool. Yeah, Schnicks was a more recent addition to the server, but yeah, he's a good dude. What he's done with the end on the current Decidedly Vanilla server, which is still in 1.13, by the way, was really cool. I liked that whole setup. Ghost blocks are weird, and they're supposed to be gone from the game as of the update Aquatic. But, yeah, I think the game just lagged out on me for a second or two there. Just going to check underneath me to make sure there's no lava to fall into if I walk off this. There's probably some lava inside the netherrack somewhere. Don't even have my fire resistance potions on me anymore. Are those things not going to kill me? What things? These guys? Nah. They're fine. They're chill. That is the mistake everybody makes, of seeing zombie pigmen immediately assuming they're hostile because they're walking around with swords. And then you punch one and then it's all over. Ghost blocks are gone, there are ghost boats instead. I guess there are, yes, that's true. Yes, the slabs prevent ghasts from spawning. Basically any mob requires a solid block surface on which to spawn, and slabs do not count as that. Fell through the floor from a boat yesterday. Yeah, when I've been moving villagers around using boats to demonstrate the stuff I've been doing over at the villager trading hall, occasionally the villager just disappears for a second. I'm standing on nothing, and then it like comes around the corner all gradually. It's really funny. I feel like ghost ships make a lot of sense in the context of the other weird stuff we have in Minecraft, like the Drowned. See, this guy is not supposed to have spawned there. I think some spawning rules are a little bit wonky in this update. I think a few of these bugs like this are actually getting fixed in 14.3. There we go. I do like the fact that ghast fireballs disappear when you kill the ghast. It's very handy sometimes. I don't think it could have spawned on the Prismarine and dropped down because they're supposed to be able to only spawn on a 4x4 space. Oh, speaking of dropping down, good thing there wasn't lava at the bottom of that anymore. Yeah, they're supposed to need a 4x4 space to spawn in. Like a 4x4 flat space. It might be that it's spawning on the blocks underneath the slabs. Am I going to do a speed run soon? I have no plans to do a speed run at this time. Hey, Liara. Welcome along. Do villagers despawn? Not on Java Edition. On Bedrock Edition, apparently anything is fair game for despawning, although apparently they've gone some way towards fixing that now. Did I name the cats? I haven't named the cats yet. I'm still collecting names, because that episode has like 1,000 comments on it now. Which is super cool. But yeah, I have not named the cats yet. Does my iron farm design work for the update now? No. In fact, it is probably even more broken than it was. But thankfully, with the mechanics being what they are in 1.13.3 or 1.14.3, if it stays that way, then iron farms are going to be very easy to make and very easily scalable, so that is good. Thought they could spawn in a 4x4 space not interrupted by unspawnable blocks. That might be it, I guess, but yeah, my hunch is that they're spawning like on the slabs. And there's just blocks underneath there. Like if they're spawning on an area like this that I just slabbed over and they arrive like kind of crouched in the slab already. Isn't it just a case of sticking a zombie in an old style iron farm? I mean, yes, if you want, you can do it that way. If you want to separate them out a little bit more efficiently, it seems to work best if you have one zombie and a set of 3 villagers. Just watch Doc M's video about the Iron Flood, which is his new iron farm, and it's worth a look. I do kind of hope that the mechanics stay the way they are. I mean, maybe there'll be a nerf for rates, but he's getting 10k iron per hour very easily. It's like, it's nothing in terms of like the complexity of it either. Like, it's literally you just block off 3 villagers and a zombie in a spot where they can all see each other, and then have a spawning platform, and that's it. There's no stacking villagers, there's no pistons and slime blocks and doors. And I feel like it's a shame, in a way, that all of the complexity that used to go into iron farms is potentially gone. But then it works much better for the new village mechanics if they just don't think of doors as a thing. Is this an update to the Nether hub? Kind of, yes. I'm just removing all of the stuff that was inside the Nether hub. It will end peaceful iron farms. I think villagers can still spawn iron golems occasionally if you just get enough of them together. DocM demonstrated in that video that they will still spawn iron golems if they think they need one. But it just gets rid of the gossip system that was spawning them so uncontrollably in natural villages. My trading hall has not spawned any because right now they need beds in order to spawn golems. They can't generate any iron golem gossip if they haven't slept and worked within 2 in-game days. And those villagers don't have beds. So no iron golems there at all. But that's a good thing because I don't want them wandering around everywhere. You don't get accidental raids at iron farms. Although, I would love to see an iron farm where a raid spawns in it and the iron golems just fight them all. And like, it's like, you know, in Lord of the Rings where Gandalf fights the Balrog and they both kind of like throw each other off of a mountain. That, but with iron golems and pillagers just falling into lava. You shall not pillage! Mochaccino with another 20 bits saying, here, take my money. Thank you, I will. Talk to the Vexes. Fly, you fools. Oh, wait, you already are. Frodo puts on Elytra. Why are blazes so dumb? What do I think about mining with explosives versus pickaxe, which is more effective on resources and time? Totally depends on whether or not you've got a mob farm already, because if you just start with a diamond pickaxe and you enchant it and stuff, then mining might actually be faster. Also depends what you're mining. But, yeah, I don't know if I would want to blow up this area in particular with TNT. And crafting the TNT also requires you have a mob farm and a paper farm. Have I updated to 1.14.3? No, it's not released yet. There's a pre-release, but I don't update to pre-releases. No point in making tutorials about mechanics which are going to change. He says, having just made a video about gossip. I have seen Tango's Villager mod. Yeah, it looks very cool. Definitely feels like a mod, though. But then a lot of the villager stuff that Mojang themselves have done also kind of feels like a mod, so 6 of 1, I guess. But it's, yeah, it's a very cool looking setup. It's really weird to see stuff in Minecraft that has limbs and knees in the traditional sense. Just the walking animations for all of those villagers seem more sophisticated than the player's walking animation. Have I chosen no TNT because explosives in the Nether could lead to a lava launch? No, I've chosen no explosives in the Nether because if I blow up a pig man, they all aggro on me and it doesn't stop. And I don't really want to be clearing out the rest of this Nether hub and have pigmen on me constantly. Even though we've managed to create quite a large unspawnable area, I need to be working in the places where spawns can happen, as you can see around me. Only golem gossip was removed. Then why is everybody acting like gossip is dead? Because I had a ton of people tell me, like, oh, this is going to be obsolete in 1.13.3, and I keep saying 113 because the decimal point is a 3 and it's throwing me off. Iron Golem Gossip is dead, but not Gossip. Yeah, I think if that's the case, then that's fine. But yeah, on today's episode, where I was mainly demonstrating the positive trading gossip you can get from curing zombie villagers, everyone was saying that mechanic was gone from... And I thought they'd only removed Iron Golem Gossip as well. But then that's also kind of the only gossip they can trade is golems. Hey, this player traded with me, major positive and minor negative. I guess major negative as well, but major negative immediately gets removed because that's what happens when you kill a villager, and they can't trade gossip at that point because they're dead. Hi, Snug Dad. Sorry you've had a weird day. Hopefully it wasn't too bad, and at least now you're here at the stream and you can have a relaxing time. What's my biggest project in this world? Probably the castle, which we'll see if I go back to the overworld in a minute. But that whole area is going to be a massive town build. This nether hub is getting pretty close to being one of my biggest things, though. I just need to actually do something with it. In the Minecraft website, they don't say anything about removing gossip. They say they've changed the way iron golems spawn, which is basically what they've done is remove the gossip mechanic that spawns iron golems. The patch notes aren't always particularly clear about what they've done to fix a bug or to change behavior. They just say that this behavior has changed, but they haven't necessarily told you how. Why aren't I doing this in a time-lapse? Because this is a live stream and you can't time-lapse something that happens in real time. Also because it has taken me multiple live streams to do this, and recording this as a single time-lapse would probably take me about 10 hours. And that's a lot of footage. Yeah, golems apparently now spawn if you get 3 villagers together and frighten them. See, that guy only just spawned, and he has spawned very much underneath the structure of my nether hub. He wasn't there. Literally, I turned around and he was there. So I'm pretty sure there's like a patch of terrain underneath there. That's probably fixed in the pre-release. I'm pretty sure there were some issues with mobs spawning on blocks they shouldn't have been able to, like trapdoors and stuff like that. So maybe ghasts were included in that. But we could resolve that, I think, by removing all of the terrain directly underneath these slabs, too. We could just carve out a single layer underneath there, which in the fullness of time we will do anyway. But I think what's happening is because there are blocks underneath here, like this is an area in which a ghast can spawn. If I put slabs over the top of it, it still spawns on those solid blocks. Like the way zombies spawn in zombie sieges. Man, every time a zombie pigman makes that hurt noise just because it, like, drops off of a block and takes full damage or something, I get very, very worried. How long am I planning to stream today? Probably for a little while. Probably until about 6, 7 p.m. my time. So another couple of hours. I started an hour early today because I had the time. But I still need to record an episode for tomorrow, but I know what I'm going to do, and it's relatively simple, so... Ideas for an underground base? Grow some grass in there, and carpet the entire thing in grass, and make it more like a natural cave kind of thing, but work some neat, like, redstone farms and stuff into the walls. If you want inspiration for that, check out Etho's single-player Let's Play, because he's got some very cool stuff in a cave base. Don't know why I'm filling all of this in when apparently we've just proven that ghasts can spawn on slabs if they have blocks below them, but... Did I see Azuma's video? He tried to break his ender chest and 4 pigmen climbed onto it. Oh no. Poor Azuma. I don't watch many of Azuma's videos because Loy watches him for the recap, but I should check out more of them. I would love to watch more Hermitcraft recreationally. It's such a mercenary thing to have to watch them all just for, like, watching them for the recap, but that's part of my job, really, I guess. Etho even did it before Silk Touch was the thing. Yeah, and TFC still does it that way. Bring grass in from the outside because you don't have a Silk Touch pickaxe. You just kind of trail grass in. These freaking skeletons, man. Like, what even is this? What is Hermitcraft? Hermitcraft is a state of mind. That's what's going to make me hit a pigman. It's going to be me trying to shoot one of these skeletons with a bow while it's freaking out. And I'll shoot past it or through it and it'll hit a pigman. Skeleton is hacking. He is. Absolutely mad hacks. Reported banned. Is there anything from Hermitcraft that I'd want to do in a single-player world? I mean, I would love to be able to have shops in the same sense that they do. I feel like that's the one thing that's missing from the Survival Guide series is, like, aside from villager trading, being able to exchange resources with other people. But that's also one of the things I'm enjoying about doing a single-player series is having to build all the resource farms myself and learning how to build them as part of the series. Oh, there we go. XP 3. Welcome along. 3 XP. There we go. Gonna make my exit real quick and go and get some stone slabs because then we can continue doing the floor a little bit. What are my upcoming projects? Enderman Farm, Creeper Farm. Tomorrow is probably going to be 3 different bamboo farm designs, with credit to Ilmango for his 0-tick one. And probably a bit of an exploration of bamboo as a fuel source as well. I still need to build a super smelter that uses blast furnaces and then explain to people why that is useless. Yeah, various other bits that I want to do like that. My pick is about to break. About to break, he says, with like 400 durability left on it. 350, I mean, really. And unbreaking as well. You guys don't seem to realize that unbreaking is a thing. How many times have I died in this world? 9. 3 of which were in that video the other day where I did a pillager raid. Those evokers are dangerous. Is it a thunderstorm or is it just rain? I think it's just rain. Keeping my eye out for thunderstorms again. Still remember how tragic death number 2 was. Yeah, it was just that kind of thing where I was like, I was on a roll. I liked the idea of having a deathless world even though I don't play in hardcore. And having the only deaths be intentional, like when I jumped into the void at the end of the end raiding episode. But yeah, once we kind of broke the streak, I was like, yeah, whatever. Cubus with a host. Thank you for the host, my friend. Giving Kuro an excuse to shout hubris in the chat is now one of my favorite things. You could call it nether hubris. Oh wow, that actually made up to exactly a stack of netherbrick fences. What a shame we'll have to ruin that in a second by getting a whole lot more of those. It's a very easy word to type one-handed because you're still playing Borderlands. Oh man. Is it possible to make a wither skeleton farm? Absolutely, I've made one. The one I have is not very good right now, but that's mainly because I don't want to clear out a huge perimeter for it until it is a better farm design. Anyway, let's go and mend these pickaxes since people seem so keen on that idea. Am I happy Minecraft is making a comeback? I mean, yeah. Considering Minecraft video making and streams and so forth are kind of my livelihood at this point, it is incredibly satisfying to me to see this game go from strength to strength. And yes, while it never went away, I think interest in it waned around the kind of 110 through 112 updates. And they've really returned to form, I think, with 113 and 114. There are significant changes happening to the game. And while they aren't, like, breaking established mechanics all of the time, there's just enough to keep people guessing, keep people hungry. 113 really made the game for you? I think so. I think it made the game for a lot of people. I think just seeing how much they were willing to overhaul stuff like oceans, which were... animations is what I want. Yeah, oceans were historically not the prettiest of biomes. They just felt completely empty, and now they're just almost the opposite. It might seem superficial, but just the presence of that much kelp out there really makes oceans feel atmospheric. Just want to see me break a pickaxe so people lose their minds. I have backups of all of my tools, basically, as well. Like, in my backup gearbox in here. Like, I've got another Silk Touch pick there with all of the same enchantments. I've got another Fortune pick there. I've got 2 Silk Touch picks. The same thing. I've got so many Fortune 3 picks just in a chest back at my base. Like, I'm good, but I don't know. These are the ones I'm carrying with me, so... Makes me happy people care. End of the day. You're looking out for me. That's what you're doing. I cannot hit either of these guardians. Welcome to Prismarine Generator. Of how water texture and color has changed. Yeah, it's a vast improvement. And being able to see underwater, I can't imagine rolling back to 1.12 and earlier now and going back to the way oceans used to be. Needing night vision potions to really be able to see anything. My general mob farm still works, yeah. Doing the pickaxe juggle. Oh, man, my eyes are tired. I need to go to the store and get some more milk as well. I'm going to do that after the stream. It's going to be really weird cooking for one for, like, the majority of this month. The lighting bug is back in your creeper farm? Oh, I'm sorry. It does seem to be, like, fringe cases of that still occurring, but it's very weird. What Guardian farm did I build? This is Cubfan's one with the bubble columns. And that was another farm I did give credit for in the video because even though I didn't watch the tutorial in full, just seeing that farm on the Hermitcraft server and understanding exactly how that works was something that I probably wouldn't have figured out on my own. Mostly, like, the delivery mechanism, like, it's easy enough to work out, hey, Guardians can still spawn in bubble columns. Like, if you just test that in a creative world and you see that it works, you're like, okay, right, fine, we can do this. But then it's the method of then channeling them into this area here was something that I probably could not have worked out on my own without hours of frustrating testing. If you want to see how I made this farm, the better idea, aside from going to my YouTube channel and watching the two-part episode in which I make this farm, is probably to go and watch Cubfan's tutorial. Cubfan135 has a bubble column guardian farm tutorial, which is stellar. It's very good. Only in Java edition, though. But, yeah, I gather Bedrock Edition has different spawning mechanics for Guardians that can be more technical in some ways, and is worth looking into if you're a Bedrock player, because it's possible to make a very good Guardian farm on Bedrock as well. Yeah, and various other people will have different iterations of the farm design. I imagine it's been refined and improved upon by a lot of people. I mainly point people to Cub because his is a video that I've actually seen, at least in part. Oh, sorry. Cheers. Clink. About to sneeze. Nailed it. It's all about having faders. Is this shirt blue or purple? This one is cyan. Kind of Concord colours. Silent Whisperer has a Bedrock Guardian farm. Yeah, he's the go-to guy, I think, for a lot of farms on Bedrock stuff. He does good work. He is one of the many people I wish I'd spent a little bit more time with on the DV server. But hey, he's on Truly Bedrock now with Zloy and Liara and many others. Having a whale of a time. My favourite blocks to build with? Dark Prismarine, Spruce Wood, various others. I really like red nether brick as well. I feel like it's a block you can't use everywhere. But, yeah, I thought that came together really well on the castle roof. I also intended to go and get some stone slabs, and I didn't, so let me run to my storage system and get those. That was the most silent sneeze you've ever heard. That is because I faded myself out. I mean, is Lloyd doing any other series like Cobble Clicker? I did answer that question earlier, but you probably weren't in the chat. I said that we're probably going to do anything like that in future if a good map comes up. But we didn't do any more episodes of Opposite World because the map didn't really have as much potential as we thought it did. And the same is true of Cobble Clicker. Like, we did that map because we thought, oh, this is going to be an absolute goldmine of content. And I think we were right. But, yeah, it's rare that maps like that come along. And if he lets me know if there's anything else out there that just kind of seems like it'd be worth doing, then I'm open to the idea of giving it a try and doing more weekend content. But none of it is ever going to replace episodes of Survival Guide, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Weekend videos for me are always like bonus content, you know? They're not going to be a regular thing, and I'm not going to make Survival Guide 7 days a week, because that would probably kill me. How did I make the elevator with the dispensers? There is a second bubble column on the left-hand side of that elevator, which has a set of observers running up it, which are powering the dispensers. And there is a single dispenser at the bottom which converts a flowing water source into a full water source, or a flowing water block into a water source block, and that turns it into a bubble column, which instantly activates all of the observers, and that means all of the dispensers in the column that I'm traveling up turn on at the same time. It's the same technique, again, credit to Doc M, and the Psycraft guys, is the same technique they used for the TNT cannon on the Hermitcraft Civil War arc. So where is your trader? Answer me this. Riddle me this, Batman. Where is the wandering trader? Somebody earlier asked me about doing bloopers as well, and no, because when you're recording stuff by yourself, you don't really make bloopers funny because you're not like acting up for the camera or anything. So yeah, I don't tend to like have funny clips of myself, and also I don't have all of my old recording footage still. Like, I delete my recording drive gets cleaned out basically every month, if not more frequently. Seriously, where is the trader? Is that llama just kind of there? I am confused. Where is trader? Is he under the bridge? Oh, there he is. You need to take better care of your llamas. Also, trade better stuff, for goodness sake. Wow. Apparently he's also the Flash. Freaking Barry Allen over here. I waved a slab under his nose and it upset him. He gets his trades from the Speed Force. Do I recommend Java over Bedrock? I mean, totally depends on what you're into, really. It's not like something that I will do regardless, because I think if all of your friends are playing on PS4 edition or Bedrock edition, I'm not still going to recommend Java to you, you know, because evidently you want to play with your friends. And I can only recommend Java edition on the basis that I have been playing it for the longest time, and I think it's a really good version of the game. There are benefits to both, and yeah, I can see an argument for either of them. Personally, I play Java Edition. That's the only thing I can say about the matter, really. What would I do if I woke up tomorrow and I didn't have any subscribers on YouTube and all my videos got deleted? Probably start a new channel. Or keep streaming on Twitch, I guess. if you and your friends are deciding together to have some mods. I mean, yeah, you can do some pretty cool stuff with the Bedrock add-ons and scripting API now, though, so don't count Bedrock out as far as mods. There isn't as strong a community for them yet because they're still relatively new, but in, you know, 4 or 5 years, maybe Bedrock will have as good of a modding community in the sense that they can be modifying the game, if not like writing mods as a thing. You can do some pretty cool stuff. What are the main differences? Bedrock is mainly a case of being multi-platform. So you can have an Xbox and play with somebody who's on a Switch, who's playing with somebody who's on a mobile device, who's playing with somebody on Windows 10. You have a friends system, which Java Minecraft doesn't, so you can directly connect peer-to-peer without having to worry about world hosting stuff. Although you can do that with local area networks on Java, so that's not as big of a thing. A lot of Java's mechanics are quirky but reliable, whereas a lot of Bedrock's mechanics... When I say mechanics, I'm talking about stuff like redstone, things like mob spawning. They are so different to Java editions that they are not as well documented, because Java edition was newer. No, Bedrock edition is newer than Java. The main difference, I suppose, is the programming language they're coded in. That's the main deal. But you'll find a lot of the resources out there relating to Minecraft all talk about the Java edition primarily. So for Bedrock players, it can be frustrating to try and find guides to the way things work for them, because it's not the way things work for Java. Cedix with the 5 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for 5 months of support. Let's see some resub hype in the chat, please. But yeah, so the differences between Bedrock and Java are numerous, and Java Edition has also gained the popularity it has because there was a really solid modding community from the very early days of the game, and mods are much more popular in Java than they are in Bedrock, because Bedrock is coded in C++ and Java is an easier language for people to mod in, from what I understand, but I know very little about that world. I had another really good point about this, and now I'm spacing on what exactly it was. Oh yeah, that's it. Java Edition, I think the main thing about Java Edition for me, the one thing that I think really makes me hope that Bedrock Edition doesn't just become the main version and Java Edition gets, like, sidelined and discontinued, is that in Bedrock Edition you basically have no choice but to update. Whereas... Cassie, hello. With the tier 1 sub for 2 months. Thank you so much for the resub. My girl, how are you? The dab, though. Yeah, the thing about Bedrock Edition is that you can't roll back to previous versions of the game. Whereas on Java Edition you can. So on Java Edition, if you open up your launcher and enable historical versions, you can go back and play any update the game has had in the past, all the way back as far as like alpha and beta versions of Minecraft. So not only do you get to see where the game came from, but if you don't want to update your world, you don't have to. Whereas on Bedrock Edition, one of the big problems is that if they put out a really buggy release, but that's just the release that it's the only one you have to play that version of the game. And if it's got some game-breaking bugs in it, then your game is broken. Finally catching me live. I know, right? We always seem to miss each other. It's really cool that you're getting back into Minecraft these days. I am serious about the offer on Twitter, by the way. Hit me up if you have any questions, because there's been some weird stuff has happened since we played together back on the 5th choice server. Also, RIP that Pixark server we made for like a week back in the day. Oh, Pixark. I both miss you and understand why you're a dead game. Don't forget the Minecraft store on Bedrock. Yes, Minecraft store is a thing on Bedrock. And Java Edition, it's arguably harder, but more common that people start up a multiplayer server. Whereas on Bedrock, it's easy because you have Realms, but Realms is kind of the only option. There are definitely Bedrock servers that can be hosted by third parties, but setting up a Java server is fairly straightforward. And you have a lot of different options. But yeah, mods is probably the main thing that keeps a lot of people coming back to Java Edition. Lol, Pixark, I know, right? If you go back in time, if you go back to my channel before the update Aquatic happened, so that's like, I guess almost a full year ago at this stage, I basically went through a period of only playing Pixark because I liked the ideas they had with that game. It was super broken and they didn't seem to show any desire to fix it, but I still tried to play that game like it was Minecraft and do some crazy stuff. Even though half of the mechanics weren't nearly as robust as Minecraft's mechanics. Still never played Ark Survival Evolved, but I have probably 200 hours plus in Pixark, weirdly. Ark is a really good game, but you don't have time for a game like that. No, me neither. Which is why I'm playing Minecraft, I guess. Plans for the Nether Hub circle area are, in the center of this, there is going to be a giant compass rose pointing north, south, east, and west. And then around the outside, I'm going to build a set of dioramas that are, you know, landscapes of all of the different Minecraft biomes. Think Doc M's piston bolt track in his section of the Nether Hub on Hermitcraft this season, and you're in the right lines, although with less posable armor stands. Favorite games besides Minecraft? Probably the entire Final Fantasy series. I'm loving Breath of the Wild on Switch. Lately, yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, a lot of Tetris 99. And I really quite like Super Mario Party as well. But I rarely have a chance to play party games because I don't have that many folks who come to our house on a regular basis. But our friend Michael comes over and we play some Mario Party. It's fun. Aside from that, Stardew Valley is fantastic. I also recommend Terraria if you're into games like Minecraft. I have a lot of good good games in my Steam library that I still haven't played. So, I feel bad, but like I rarely have times for games other than Minecraft these days. But then again, this is one heck of a game. Am I going to get Mario Maker? Probably not. I kind of like the spin-off Mario games and the, I guess, the franchise titles and stuff more than I like traditional side-scrolling Mario. And I know that Mario Maker 2 is going to be like Super Mario World. Was that the one where you could be cats and it was kind of 3D-ish? But I really want to play Mario Odyssey. I feel like that's the one I could absolutely get on board with, because that's like Super Mario 64. And that was a super fun game. Played that around my neighbor's house, because he was the guy who had the N64. I had the Mega Drive at the time. Cedix with 1,000 bits. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, and congrats on 100k subs. 140k now, climbing that ladder. Silver play button is on the way. Heck yes. Odyssey was really fun. Yeah, I kind of want to check it out. I've seen a couple of people do speedruns of it, and I feel like more often now speedruns are kind of my way of checking out how a game plays without actually watching a let's play of it and getting stuff spoiled for me, because they skip all the cutscenes in speedruns. It's great. So often you just find speedrunners like not caring about the game's plot because plot takes time, and so I can get a really good grasp of what the gameplay is like throughout, instead of just like watching a trailer or watching somebody play the first hour of the game, and then I don't get stuff spoiled for me. So I've seen a couple of Mario Odyssey speedruns that I'm like, yeah, this game seems fun. I just want to play it. But I also want to play Octopath Traveler and a few other Switch games. The Switch is definitely like my casual gaming go-to right now because I can just sit on the couch and play it handheld, and I am happy with that. It totally depends on the speedrun as well, because some games have non-skippable cutscenes, but those aren't typically the games people choose to speedrun. And I've just been getting into speedrunning as a subculture, not to practice it myself, because I would be terrible. I care about things too much to want to skip over a ton of stuff. But yeah, I like the concept of speedrunning. I like the culture of speedrunning, such as it is. And there's a lot of great positivity in the speedrunning community about inclusivity. And, like, nobody cares who you are, what you look like, what your gender or sexuality or preferences of any kind are, as long as you're just the fastest at beating the game. And I think that's admirable, and more communities should strive to be like that. Paranor's coffee command is causing controversy. Who set that up, by the way? Was that for Talismancer? Was that Talismancer who set up that command? Because I feel like the extra strong coffee joke doesn't sound like something Paranor would do all on his own. Yeah, I thought as much. It's making me sad because I want another cup of tea, but I don't have any milk in the house, so I'm going to have to either go milkless, the shock, or I'm going to have to go to the store and get some more milk, which I won't be able to do while I'm streaming. And my missus drinks soy milk because she's lactose intolerant, but we even managed to kind of judge it so that she ran out of that right as she left, so it wasn't just sitting around in the fridge. But I can't even have any of that, which I've had before, and it's not bad. Soy milk is pretty good as far as milk substitutes go. Do I have sugar in tea? Not usually, no. Depends on the tea, though. Like, not in the standard cup of English breakfast, but I have sugar in some teas which taste like they should be sweeter. I saw Cassie disappearing into the scroll, but saying something about the VR chat community being accepting. That seems to be what I've seen as well. Like, I have a very limited contact with the VR chat community, but it does seem to be one of those places where, like, possibly because you're able to, you know, model your own avatar and stuff like that, people accept whatever identity you present to them very easily, and that's good because that's the way it should be. I am gonna take a very short break here. I need to run and get some tissues because my nose is starting to run. So I'll be right back, guys. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Just a short chair stream for you guys. Power 5 book for 62 emeralds. No. No, thank you. I will not take that. I get power so often from enchanting tables anyway, it's like... Not as much as I get piercing these days, thanks to Mojang apparently wants us all to get earrings. Weird piercing joke, not sure why. Not sure how that came together. Rip chair. Chair is not dead, guys. What do I think of the new enchantment update? There's an enchantment update? As in, like, the enchantments that we've got in this update? I really hate getting piercing all the time. I don't need crossbows that badly. Oh, you think they mean stacking protections? Oh, it's cool, I guess. Like, I haven't really come across that many circumstances in which it's really that useful. I mean, I imagine having a bit of extra fire protection would be great if I fell in lava often, but I don't really. Humble brag, I guess. But yeah, I haven't really needed stacking protection all that much, but I agree it's probably a good thing to have. It's a lower chance for multiple enchantments in the table, but a higher chance for a great enchantment. Really interesting. I did not know that. And also, they think of a great enchantment as being Piercing 4. I do not think of Piercing 4 as a great enchantment. Seriously, I will harp on about it all day, but I get piercing so much when I enchant stuff now. Books specifically, I mean. Like, obviously, you're not going to get it on a pickaxe, but it is really, really annoying how often it comes up. I've thought about making my own nether fortress real grand. Like, it's crossed my mind. Having a nether castle was going to be an early objective of this series, and that's what I wanted my nether hub to be originally, but I pretty soon realized that in order to have all of the tunnels, or like the corridors of the castle go out to all of the different regions I was going to connect it to, the castle would have just looked disproportionate and weird, or it would have been a massive undertaking. So instead I'm going back to the more traditional, like, big structure in the nether being the nether hub, and then everything else comes out like spokes of a wheel from that. I mean, it's a hub. That's kind of what the whole idea is based on, I guess. This is all nether bricks. Which I guess, yeah, we can still put in here. Oh, this is all different stuff as well. Why have I got these going in like several different shulker boxes? I'm so disorganized. This one here. Like so. Take all those with me because they're not full yet. Gravel and flint. And now these. Let's bring some of the smooth stone slabs from here with us. But let's make a few more as well. Oh, not enough space. Check out the fences. No one needs the fences anyway. Good. What's my favorite feature of Minecraft? Gosh, that's a very open question, and I do not know the answer. I like flying. Flying is real cool. Are you a fan of mining or crafting? We'd love a storage update. Yeah, I think at this point we're getting to the stage where, even though shulker boxes are a thing and they are sort of revolutionary for storing stuff, we might need more than that if the range of blocks and items continues to expand. How do I find inspiration on what to build all the time? It's usually informed by whatever mechanics I want to explore in the Survival Guide series and what farms I plan to build and stuff like that. Because typically I am looking for an episode to... Dang it. I'm looking for an episode to teach people about the way a specific thing works in this game. So, like, the cat thing, for example, like, this is what happens if you tame all the cats to get that advancement. Well, that kind of dictates I probably need to build something to put all of these cats in, and then that becomes a cat cafe. Stuff like the castle. Castles are just one of those things that everybody thinks of building in Minecraft because you get early access to a lot of cobblestone and wood and the type of materials that look good to build castles out of. So that one's a no-brainer, really. Aside from that, there are so many other things you can build, and it's all about finding inspirational images on, you know, Google image search, or if you want to search somewhere where there's concept art and stuff like that for whatever you're into. Build some sci-fi stuff, build some fantasy stuff. There's a huge variety of things that it is possible to build in this game. Do I have anything planned for the jungle? Aside from the jungle swamp village that I built, not really, but there's always a chance we could go back and do something later. Just because I don't have anything planned now also does not mean that I'm never gonna do anything there. I think ultimately one of my goals for this series, one of the long-term vague goals I have laid out, is to build a base in every biome. And what exactly that looks like and what that means is sort of open to interpretation at this stage, but a base in every biome is kind of my strategy. Talked about building a ski resort a couple of episodes ago. Yep, definitely planning on doing that. That is one of the things I want to build in a snow biome, because a ski resort is quite a modern concept, and so it allows for some more cozy and rustic kind of style builds, but then also with the technology of, you know, having stuff that looks like ski lifts in the background, and using snow layers a lot for decoration, and working with a different kind of build palette to the one that we've been using around Founders Forge, where everything is a bit of an eclectic mix of styles, but is mainly focused on fantasy and that steampunk aesthetic that people love so much in Minecraft. Hello, Jack. My day was good today, although it involved a lot more driving of cars than I usually do. I don't own a car, so yeah, I don't drive much, and returning to driving after a long time is always kind of weird. I don't know if anyone else can relate. Is anyone else like in a position where they use public transport a lot, but they're able to drive and can drive a whole bunch? Because whenever I return to driving, as I did today because we hired a car to drive my wife to the airport, it's really weird going back to driving, but then knowing how to do everything, so it's not like you're a danger on the road because you understand how driving works, but I just don't do it nearly ever. I don't own a vehicle that can do it. And I'm considering getting a car at some point now that I feel like I have enough money that I could afford the upkeep on a car, but I don't know how frequently I would use it, and so I'm having a hard time justifying the expense other than just, oh, I could go anywhere if I want to. It's so rare that I actually need to, though. It's weird. It's a weird justification at this point. You don't use public transport, of course. You don't like the public, so probably why. Yeah. You don't like to drive and usually don't, but you can. Yeah. That's me, basically. And it's not that I don't like to drive. Like, I find the experience of driving kind of strange and enjoyable. But there are a lot of cultures, specifically like America and to some extent the UK, which are so... that the infrastructure is so heavily built around using cars to get around that you can't help but drive in those circumstances, because like if you don't own a car and can't drive in the United States, you really can't get anywhere in some of those larger states. I'm most familiar with California, and I know there are cities, like major cities like New York or Chicago or wherever, where there are decent public transport systems for a given value of decent. I guess if you're from there, you might disagree with that assessment. But yeah, I don't know if I can really... in this country, public transport is totally different. Like, it is way more accessible because our country is so small, so it doesn't really cost as much for upkeep as public transport does in larger countries like the United States. But that lends itself to American infrastructure being so heavily built on cars that you can't not own a car and still like have a sensible job and stuff, you know? Like, it, especially in larger areas like, oh, that's satisfying, especially in larger areas like California. Any Australians out here? At this time of day, they're probably all asleep. But are we going to get into a discussion about the Ute? Frank the Tank, hello, welcome along. Hey, Nobody14, hello, welcome. It has been a while, hope you're well. Good to see you. The US would be ideal for high-speed rail and it's so short-sighted that we don't commit resources to it. I feel like the US has a weird relationship with stuff like that as well, because there is obviously like a lot of industry, a lot of commerce and jobs and stuff tied up in oil and gasoline. And by the way, if any American complains about gas prices, you should see the gas prices in this country by comparison, right? But yeah, I feel like anything that changes the infrastructure of America changes the landscape for a lot of very powerful people who are relying on oil and gas and that kind of stuff to provide their profits, and that's when stuff gets difficult and political. Get to deal with gas by the litre. Yes, likewise here. Driving would be better if there were no other drivers on the road at the same time as me. You could use all 3 of the lanes. How can you decrease the price of trades after you punched a villager by accident? Oh, probably best to kill all of them and start again. For real, I don't actually know what the negative gossip spread is like when you punch a villager, because I've still managed to avoid it. But from what I've heard, everyone is just like, just don't do it. Or if you do it, try and stop that villager from talking to any of the other villagers. And maybe consider entering the witness protection program, because there's a lot of problems with that. To put some of this netherrack away, don't we? I really wish I could collect all of the netherrack to me slowly, the way XP orbs kind of fly towards you. And that way I could just stand here, shift-clicking all of this netherrack into the shulker box. Let's put the quartz ore in there as well. Give ourselves an extra inventory space. Do I watch any Autosport? Not really, no. We need a magnet. Yeah, we do. Welcome along, Crafted Jedi. Biggest pet peeve, what do I think must be added to the game? Right now, my biggest pet peeve is actually kind of a petty thing, but I really wish the Wandering Trader had nicer trades. Or, like, an even greater variety of trades to the point where they were almost entirely random. Like, game-breaking though it would be, I love the idea of just randomly being able to get a Nether Star or something from the Wandering Trader. I just think that'd be really funny. Or if he turned up with randomly enchanted gear and swords and stuff like that. I do love the fact that none of the items get burned up by that lava, because it lands on the half block above the slab. No, I have never considered joining Psycraft. I don't think they would have me, because I am not as innovative as any of those guys. I don't have a bone in my body that's as innovative as those guys. And I get that the Wandering Trader is much more... is meant to be like an incentive to exploration for people. Like, I've actually had some folks on the dev team tell me on Twitter that that is the case. And I'm like, yeah, but then he still comes around once you're no longer in the mood to explore because you've seen everything. And at that point, he's useless. Like, to me, in a fully built-up world where I have access to every biome and a nether portal in most of the important ones, I've got adventuring time. Like, I've seen some stuff. Where is it? Is it adventure? There it is. I've discovered every biome in the game. The only thing that I will buy from a Wandering Trader is Nautilus shells. And I feel like if he has this... Whoa! Scared me there. Hello! Oh! I'm awake now. But yeah, if the Wandering Trader had more trades... Freaking guy. Then it would make it way more exciting to me. Just fight him. No! I guess one thing you could do is if I had like a Smite 5 axe and I was doing like 24 damage per hit to undead, then I would probably consider taking him out. Which episode did I visit a Mega Tiger? There is an episode of the Survival Guide called 3 Rare Biomes or something like that, where I see a Mega Tiger, a Mesa, and a Jungle, and it's the first time I've seen any of them in this world. Have I ever tried any mods? Yes, I have several modded Let's Plays on my YouTube channel. From a variety of things, actually. We've got the Minecraft Harmony series I did with Python GB, in which we were mainly playing around in Biome Bundle, which is a preset for open terrain generator that's very cool. But in that we had a few kind of quality of life mods and like RPG inspired things. Then in Forever Stranded... Lost Souls is the Forever Stranded pack that starts you in the Nether, and that's got some pretty hectic mods, but that's a hardcore pack. That's like a challenge pack, and it's very, very difficult to get going. But we did that with a group of players, some of whom are primarily modded players, so I felt a little bit out of my depth there, but I had a lot of fun with that. We've played some Sky Factory on this channel before, here on Twitch, and then we did time lapses for it for the YouTube channel, stuff like that. What's modded Minecraft, Cassie? You joke. I have a great community and I respond to every question. I try to. I definitely don't get to every question, but... the chat moves too fast now for me to catch up, and I don't want to become one of those people who's just completely disengaged from my chat, but yeah, it's often difficult to reply to as much stuff as I can and still concentrate on the game, so I'm sorry if I do miss anything that people say, but it is, promise you, nothing personal, unless you do anything to annoy me, in which case it's deeply personal and I hate you. The first Skyblock series was the best, though. Oh, yeah. the vanilla Skyblock series that Rob and I did back in the day was great fun. We knew nothing. We knew so little. It would be so great to revisit that now, knowing what I know about this game. It would be very, very fun. Although I think the Psycraft Skyblock map would probably have us beat in terms of basically everything. There's a lot those guys can do. Can someone explain the difference between Java and Bedrock? Wind this stream back about an hour, and that's where I explain it. Probably quite badly. The main difference is that they're coded in different programming languages, they run on different platforms, and Java mechanics are more consistent than Bedrock for the most part, but Java is, in terms of performance, worse than Bedrock because Bedrock has C++ architecture, so it's much better in terms of render distance and smoother in terms of FPS. Personally, I don't like Bedrock all that much because, for me, it has this weird sort of input lag thing. And I don't know if that's just my experience, but I find that everything reacts like a millisecond or two slower than I expect it to, but that is noticeable to me, and that's kind of distracting. But what I said earlier was the main thing that puts me off Bedrock Edition is the fact that you can't roll back to previous versions of Minecraft. You always have to be moving forward, which can be a problem because bugs get introduced in updates, and sometimes they aren't fixed. And while Java players have the option to roll back to versions of the game that they find more acceptable in terms of performance and so forth, like the Psycraft server still plays on 1.12. I know various people who didn't move past 1.8 because they didn't like the changes to combat in 1.9. Bedrock, you just have to take it as it comes. I like llamas. They're just good. It's the greatest thing I built or did in Minecraft. I mean, you're looking at it. The Minecraft Survival Guide. It's an ongoing series that has basically, yeah, pushed me into doing Minecraft full time, and I feel like I've done some of my best work here. Still very proud of all of the stuff I've done elsewhere, with the Decided Vanilla crew, with the Hermitcraft recap, with everything else, but this series has just become one of the most important things in my life, which is really weird to say about a world I've made in a video game. But yeah. Skyblock series is back in 2015. Yes, that was Skyblock in Minecraft 1.7? Or was it 1.8 at that point? I'm pretty sure I started playing PC Minecraft in 1.8. Because when I was joining DV, they just had like banners and stuff. Thanks, Cassie. It's been crazy. Like just the response to the series has always been great from the beginning, but in the last little while it's really blown up. It's still so strange to me that the most watched episode of the whole series is just me raiding a woodland mansion. And in a video where, as many people have pointed out, I don't explain everything about woodland mansions, I only explain most of the things. Yeah, like, people are apparently really into that episode. Because that one has, like, 1.4 million views or something now. It's crazy. It is weird to me that the first episode of the series is not the one that has had the most attention. That's the thing that gets me, is like, you'd think everybody would want to start at the beginning. But no, for whatever reason, that one hit YouTube recommended at some point and just blew up. Remember when we were freaking out about the OMG Chad thing? Yeah. And I put that in my 100k sub celebration video because that's just some perspective on how far things have come at the time. But yeah, that's probably one of the moments in the whole thing that has made me think I'm probably good doing this for a while, you know? Like, if I was creating stuff like that and people still thought that I was worth sharing, then yeah, it's very cool. What was the OMG Chad thing? OMG Chad has a channel called OMG Craft where he kind of does little showcase videos about mechanics in the game and maps and all kinds of stuff, basically. It's kind of like a Minecraft review, almost, like a roundup of some stuff that's been happening lately. Sometimes tutorials about gameplay mechanics and stuff like that. And yeah, he did his first ever like spotlight video of another YouTuber was for my channel back when I had about 150 subscribers. And he made a video basically telling people to go and subscribe to me because I was making little kind of straightforward decoration and redstone gadget tutorials at the time. Stuff like armor stand swappers and just neat ways of using armor stands a lot of the time. And yeah, it was I went overnight, basically, from 150 subscribers to about 7k. And so, yeah, anytime, if I get to meet OMG Chad at some point, I need to give that man a hug, because he basically kind of kickstarted my career, quote-unquote. It wasn't like I was immediately making enough money to, like, stop everything and do YouTube constantly, but it was the first time I really got any kind of, like, major attention from people that I never thought would know who I was. It was really weird. Zamira with 300 bits, saying hello from a hot and sunny Germany with 300 shamrocks. Hello from a stereotypically cold and rainy England. And Ninjackson. Ninjackson the 15th of his name. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. What are bits? Bits are basically Twitch currency. You can buy them from Twitch, and each bit represents 1 US cent. It'll cost you a little bit more than a cent to buy them. I think you buy like $1 worth of bits for 120 cents, like $1.20 or something like that, but that's Twitch overheads for you. But yeah, they're just a way of supporting streamers. It basically works out to revenue for a streamer. So if you see somebody cheer 1,000 bits, that's $10. Just to put that in perspective for you, mathematically. This is a very wide open space that I think is probably going to be a nether hub. So what I also want to do around the side here, we're going to be continuing the chopping in a minute, but I think around the outside here we want there to be a wall maybe 7 or 8 blocks high. You looked at the Minecraft and saw me. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. Welcome along. In Barcelona, it is so hot. It's been very warm in the UK, actually. Like, I joke about it being wet and rainy and miserable, but that's just today. The last few days we've had some very sunny weather. But, yeah, basically it started raining as soon as my wife left the country, so I'm fairly certain she is the goddess of the sun. Fact. She's from California, it makes sense. The Sunshine State. Is California the Sunshine? The states have weird names. You guys are all about, like, claiming stuff for your state. But I feel like California is pretty sunny. What football team do I support? I am unaffiliated. This is 6 blocks tall. I think it should be 7. I don't know why I've arbitrarily picked 7 as a number, but it's a good number. Odd numbers are usually quite good to work with. Florida is the Sunshine State. My bad. My bad. You're in Maryland. You have Maryland blue crabs. Sounds like a personal problem to me. Ubermouse with 100 bits. Hey, Pixelrest, always watch your Hermitcraft recaps. Greeting from a hot and sunny Netherlands. You guys rubbing the hot and sunny places in my face now. The text in the bottom right is subtitles. They are a vanilla Minecraft feature that allows you to see where sound effects are coming from. Which is very handy, because then I know when a ghast is, like, over there and not just around me in the ether. California's the golden state, right? The golden hills of California, because they don't get enough rain. Hot but humid in Luxembourg. Yeah, it's been hot and humid in the UK as well. I feel like that's... If we get hot weather, it's automatically incredibly humid. That's what we get. I'd rather have a cold and rainy day because that's an excuse to stay inside the house and play some Minecraft. Hey, I don't need a cold and rainy day as an excuse for that, but I imagine other people do as well. Zamira, well over 30 degrees Celsius in Germany is very hot. Well, there you go. That is, yeah, definitely getting on the warm side. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of visiting Germany in the summer a while ago with my family. I was still quite young at the time, but wow, okay, there's 2 of them. But yeah, it's some beautiful countryside in some warm weather. It's very, very nice. How does 32 sound to me? Like a number? And yes, now we're getting into the Heat Olympics. Guys, stop it. I know it's all very important to you how hot your country is, but let's not start waving thermometers at each other. I live on the sun, so there. Yep. Is that going to be tall enough? Okay, let me try and say this name. Caesorum. Nailed it. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Enjoy your emotes. They named a country after the song in the Minecraft soundtrack. Yep. Sweden is very happy to have Minecraft as part of its legacy. In Slovakia, it's now 300 Kelvin. Oh, messed that up. Attack the pig man. I'm alright, thanks. Have I ever been to Eastern Europe? I have not, no. Most of my travel has been in Western Europe when I've been to any of Europe. Been to Spain for like half a day. We passed through, got some food, got some petrol, went back to southern France. Not that we disliked Spain, we just weren't supposed to... Not that we weren't supposed to be there either, we were just... You know... Our holiday wasn't planned to be a Spanish one. Put it that way. Sounds like a challenge, build your fortress with angry pigmen. It is a challenge, but not one I am willing to take up at this stage. Also, I feel really bad for anybody who has a hardcore world right now, because I imagine they must be trying to avoid zombie pigmen so badly. Have I ever been to Sweden? No, not really. Of the countries I've been to in Europe, France, Germany, a little bit of Spain, Luxembourg. I think that's kind of it. Italy. I've been to Italy. What's the best spider XP farm for Bedrock? Asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. I'm a Java player, and I don't really keep track of farms in Bedrock, so maybe some folks in the chat can help you out there. I imagine Silent Whisperer's got good farms for most stuff, though. Ireland? Never been to Ireland, actually. I would like to go at some point. Oh, the Netherlands, of course. I've been to the Netherlands, too. Went to Amsterdam for my 5th anniversary. I've been there with my parents before as well. Can use the same design on Bedrock. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I guess if it's a spider spawner, they're not that different, are they? I just worry that if I'm going to recommend something, it's not going to work out for people. Ireland would like to see me. I imagine the majority of Ireland is kind of indifferent to me, but I imagine some individuals in Ireland might appreciate my company. Yeah, I should be taking some of this down from the top. I just don't know where to stop with most of this. Want to see what the clearance is around this hub anyway. Whoop. Nice. Great work, Minecraft. If anybody has any problems with us actually placing things on Choppin' Tuesday, just tell yourself we are chopping the air blocks. Spider-Man, yeah. I am now far from home, or something. Trailer for that looks good, dude. Like, I'm actually excited to see how that whole movie turns out, where they go with it. Was that a Twitch Prime sub? Oh, okay, it's a conversion. Zamira converting the Twitch Prime sub to a tier 1 Twitch sub. Thank you so much. I was wondering why that didn't pop off in the event list, and that was just because for some reason Streamlabs doesn't tell you when people do that stuff. Thank you very much for the support, Zamira. What's my take on data packs? I think they're cool. I think, yes, they are basically like a step towards having an actual modding API, but it does mod the game slightly. Yeah, I think it's great that they're in the game as a vanilla feature. Personally, I don't tend to use them myself, but it's nice that people have the option to modify the game without going heavily into like actual mods. Is this going to be a 6-hour stream? I doubt it. Not least because I still have to record a Minecraft Survival Guide episode for tomorrow. And I need to run out to the shop and get some milk. Afraid that after Endgame, superhero movies are going to revert back to pre-2008 standards and the genre will eventually phase out. I don't know if that's the case. Because, like, in that case, like, why wait until Endgame? You know? I feel like the problem with pre-2008 superhero movies was that every single one basically was an origin story. And even like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy was just tonally kind of strange. But I feel like Marvel knows how to make good movies where Fox and Sony didn't quite meet the mark. Because Marvel has been working with those characters and has experts on those characters from all over the place. Iron Man was an origin story. I mean, a lot of those... Black Panther was like, in effect, it was an origin story that lasted about a minute and a half at the start of the movie. But Captain Marvel was an origin story. I heard that was decent too. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. But... yeah, there are so many of them that are origin stories, but I think it's just a matter of Marvel knowing how to handle the characters and what's going to resonate with people now. And then the fact that they're owned by Disney basically means they can have their pick of whoever they want to direct and star in them, and nobody's really going to turn down Disney and Marvel at this point. I mean, imagine talking about the first Hulk movie. Marvel has learned how to make good movies, if you want to get semantic about it. I feel like maybe if they don't inherently know how to make good movies, they have gotten a lot better with practice. Okay, here's the bit where I throw this into the Nether portal and go 7,000 blocks away. No, we're good. Okay. The radius of the Nether hub is about 137 blocks, something like that. Captain Marvel's better than Black Panther. Oh, that's a bold claim, because Black Panther was pretty good. I think I'm probably going to have to smelt some of this netherrack, because I have way too much of it. I have very little I actually want to use it on. Doctor Strange was another origin story, and I actually quite like Doctor Strange too. Hey, Astro Jake. Good to see you. Lazy Zomboro, I am so tired of people making Thanos references when entities went missing in Minecraft. It's like anything disappears now. Everyone's like, oh, Thanos snapped it. It's like, no, things disappeared before everybody knew about the Avengers. Like, it's so tired. It's one of those things that meme lords have beaten into the ground, and I kind of hate it. Like, the sheer amount of Avengers memes that ended up on the Hermitcraft subreddit after that, I was just like, ugh. I can't speak any other languages, no. I am monolingual. Just gonna go and mend this. And chop! Gotcha. Doctor Strange and Iron Man are essentially, yes, the same character. Same character with just very different abilities and a different supporting cast. But I think it's the supporting cast that really makes some of those movies. I really want to see what they end up doing with Chiwetel Ejiofor's character from Doctor Strange. I want to see what Mordo does. Because they set that up at the end, in like the post-credits from Doctor Strange, for him to be like a villain in future, but I don't know where that's going. I don't know what happens to him. Cezorum, you found me through the podcast. Wow, that's awesome. It's always really cool to hear people found me because of the Spawn Chunks podcast, because I think I'm much better known for doing both this series and the Hermitcraft recap. So that's very cool. But yeah, welcome to the Minecraft Survival Guide world. I have a lot of stuff built here. And still so much to do. What's the next big project? People keep asking me about big projects, and I don't know what I'm doing about any kind of big projects. I'm happy doing lots of small projects for now. My current big project is a town that I will probably never finish building, so... Not sure quite where to go from there. One thing at a time. I think we're done chopping the nether hub. Weirdly. We're done chopping the nether hub. So, I'm going to go back and make a quick change to my tree farm. Because somebody pointed out something very obvious about the design for my TNT-powered tree farm, which I need to go and correct immediately. Official Joy, yes, I have mentioned in the past giving a world download for the Survival Guide world. I've been maintaining throughout that I want to do it when I've finished with this area and I'm moving on to whatever the next big build is, like the next city. And I want to do a modern city build, I want to do a ski resort build, I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. And the problem with that is that I don't tend to make episodes that are just about building because I don't really have a tutorial to do with those a lot of the time. So I'm trying to start integrating builds into the, you know, the scope of the tutorials I'm trying to do for different mechanics and just being like, well, I've got this bamboo farm now, I might as well build something around it. But yeah, that's why Founders Forge is taking forever, and that's why I haven't issued a world download yet, because I want it to be like, you get to look around everything and it's finished before I move on to something else. So yeah, I have no idea when that's going to be. I can't give you like a number. I can't be like, episode 200, I'll give you a world download, because like I don't know where I'm going to be at episode 200. That's also, what are we on right now? That's like 9 weeks away. I don't know where my world is going to be at in 9 weeks. I don't think any of it will be finished. So like setting arbitrary milestones like that just because it's a nice round number never really made that much sense to me. I think what I might end up doing is moving some of these things, like the cocoa bean farm that's out here, a lot of these test farms, for want of a better term, that I've built, and actually make them proper houses in Founders Forge. Might make something like that. So somebody pointed out, quite rightly, that this tree farm could very easily use 1 TNT instead of 2. And just have the logs come in this side and then wrap around and come out that side and then drop TNT in the middle instead of dropping 2 TNT either side. Makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to adjust things around the back here a little bit. And then we're potentially going to be doing some automated chopping, which is very exciting. You can use a dispenser to bone meal the saplings. However, with this setup, you can't. Which probably means this farm needs to be redesigned at some point. But I'm not the best at designing farms, so I dare say there are many people who would be able to do this better than me. Farism! Thank you for the host. And now, which direction does this need to be? It needs to be there, doesn't it? That didn't work. I need to get my scaffolding box. Let's hop up here. That there. And so this one needs to go there. And so when stuff comes in here, redstone torch activates that, and we have our little redstone tower thing here. Nope. Not what I wanted to do with that. Ta-da! Okay, that now works. Fingers crossed. Some kind of wood log duping thing. No, it's just a feed tape. It's just pushing logs from over there to over here. It's nothing to do with duplication. This is going to be ugly and not symmetrical, but forgive me. out. Let me out. I'm going to sleep as well. How are these lads doing? Are any of them dead? I put a bunch of villagers in boats around here. Okay, they all seem to be alive. Good. But I guess I haven't really been around here much, so they haven't had a chance to spread gossip and whatnot. Alas, poor zombies. I haven't finished the Nether hub as such. I've just finished taking out all of the blocks I wanted to remove from it today. So we need to take this observer and move it over one block. We could also get this to activate a T flip-flop, but there are issues with that. We get to take all the TNT back out of here, which is nice. Do I have anything I can crouch with? Give me a trapdoor or a slab or something. Spare stack of TNT. Where's the scaffolding when you need it, right? Ladders work well. Haha! I've done it. Now to place a dispenser facing downwards. And an observer facing that way. Okay. Now, in theory, what happens is if we place a block there, drops TNT into the middle, everything inside explodes. Twice. Does that affect the redstone out here? No. Good. Success. Let's chop some trees. Why are these trapdoors not stacking with other trapdoors? Rebels. Rebel scum. Now... when I started this stream, I had a bunch of bone blocks and stuff, and then I put them somewhere, and I don't know where they were. What did I do with them? Testing a new headset, and you can hear loud and clear with bass. With bass! How low can you go? Yeah, I have no idea where I put that. I had like a small amount of like saplings and bone meal and stuff that I was planning to use on the tree farm. For spruce saplings tree farm. That'd be an interesting challenge. Build a tree farm that can farm any giant spruce tree. I have to give that a try. Why is there a carrot in here named 15? I think I know why, but that's just silly. Beethoven. Okay, well that's not going to be enough bone meal. Let's go and get to the mob farm. The water pool surrounded by redstone is just a really basic attempt at a sea pickle farm. There is coral blocks at the bottom of it. So that you can farm sea pickles by bone mealing them. And then when the whole thing fills up with sea pickles, it automatically shakes them off. Something, something Taylor Swift. Is it true that it's illegal to run with silly fish? This sounds like the beginning of a joke. Do I stream every week? Yes, 3 times a week. Do I think the Hermitcraft people will make a full saplings tree farm? And they've got tree farms for all of the smaller types of trees, haven't they? Paranor has put the times in the chat for you several times already. If you're not going to pay attention, then... It's actually in British law that it's illegal to act suspiciously with a salmon. Yeah, it's just one of those weird laws, isn't it? Like how you can't shoot a rabbit from a speedboat in Florida or something. You do often wonder if that stuff exists because someone's actually done that, or if they're just having a giraffe. I had particles off. They're on now. Ilmango recently did an auto spruce tree farm. Hermitcraft's definitely going to do one then. So, Mantry, glad you're enjoying the survival guide videos. Very kind of you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub as well. The timing on that sub. Welcome to the Pixels. Enjoy your emotes. Paranor with the stream pizza. I might have to get stream pizza. I'm trying not to eat like trash while my wife is away. But a stream pizza does sound like a good idea. There's that thing about the city of York where it's technically legal to shoot a Scotsman from the wall or something dumb like that. I think laws like that probably just exist from some sort of archaic time, and they're going to be there until somebody actually does it. Okay. Definitely need that second explosion. It's hard to guarantee that that block gets destroyed, but then at that point you trigger the observer anyway by moving another set of blocks over, so I mean technically it's viable. Oh, that's where I put them. I put them all down here. In the chest. That would make sense. Am I good with redstone? No, I'm terrible. I'm genuinely really bad. Takes me ages to do anything. And I think a lot of people have some stuff about redstone memorized. Like how you make certain circuits and what some stuff does. And I always basically have to relearn everything as I do it. It's not very easy for me. My brain doesn't think that way. I'm not really an engineer in that sense. In Alaska, it's illegal to throw moose out of a plane. I mean, I'm sure it is. Don't think anyone's going to be really happy with you throwing a moose out of a plane anywhere. Insert Monty Python, a moose bit my sister once. They can still get you for littering. I think I did it. It's still going. And apparently a piece of redstone there. So maybe that needs better blast resistance. Nice. We appear to have some stuff here, though, for some reason. You're not meant to be there. What have you done? Probably generated too fast. Yeah, viable. It works. Stack of wood at a time. Not sure throw is the right verb there. No, I think if you throw out a moose out of a plane, they let you off just on the sheer, like, the power it took you to throw that moose probably means that you are Superman or something. So they're like, no, we need you to go and fight crime now. Is my dispenser gone? No, it's there. Oh, the observer's gone, though. Ah. That's a concern. Yeah, this tree farm overall is not very good. It's fun, but it's not good. Starting to wonder why the 1 carrot is in my inventory. Because 15. Oh, I don't need to do that, do I? Question is, does surrounding it with obsidian on all sides help in terms of the blast resistance? Let's find out. A skeleton died here. Why do I get the feeling that Weird Laws is going to be the next subject on the chair fact stream? Funtime chair facts. I get the sense some research is going to happen. Did not realize that I streamed. Well, now you know. Congrats on your new discovery. It me. Might be, might not be. I think the other problem with this is I need some kind of dispenser on a clock firing bone meal at me so I don't run out. Some of these saplings take ages to grow. It's definitely less efficient to use this than to actually farm oak wood normally. But this version uses TNT, so I'm kind of okay with that. That says footsteps, and I'm curious. Oh, there's a skeleton somewhere. Probably under here. I won't worry about that. Every now and again I see footsteps, and I'm like, there's a creeper somewhere. Why don't I just chop? Because people told me like, why don't you just build an automatic tree farm every time I farmed wood? So now I have, and you guys still aren't happy. You're a fickle bunch, aren't you? Why chop when we can chop automatically? Tree farms. That time the observer didn't got blown up, which is good. The problem is the blocks end up on here. Throw those away. And then firework out of here. I can get into a water source and get the height. There we go. Yeah. It still takes a long time to harvest oak trees, though. Am I planning on doing another collab with Python? We don't have any solid plans, but I would like to at some point. Maybe. Maybe not a series, maybe just like the occasional video here and there. But we still keep in touch, like, we're good mates. I still owe him a beer from back in the day when we played Destiny together. Yep, we're doing it now. Oh. The observer just ended up at the collection chest. Probably a sign that the farm is broken again. See also this long line of extra wood blocks. Yeah, fun experiment though this has been. I think it's probably best to stick to manual chopping. You're in the Nether and TNT going off terrifies you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. Alright. I think that's probably going to be where we call today's stream, guys. It's a bit of an early finish, I know. But, yeah. I think we're done with the main objective for the stream. Which was mainly getting all of that stuff cleared up in the Nether hub. So let's call it early and let's see who's out there who we can drop a raid on. Gonna search Minecraft in the directory. Have a good one, folks. Thanks if you're sticking around for the raid. Please do share some love around the Minecraft community with the rest of us. But If you have to go, I entirely understand. Wow, there's some heavy hitters today. Let's see. Skull Daisy with 100 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. And 500 from Yeah My Mum Plays. Thank you guys. Oh, the Stingin is raiding. Let's is streaming. Let's drop a raid on him. You guys know Stingin at this point. We've raided him a few times. He's playing on the 240p server, doing some vanilla stuff. Don't forget you can use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag Pixel Raid to show some love over at Stingin's stream. He's a great guy. I'm sure you guys will have a good time. Family friendly, so don't worry too much about that. He ain't gonna get you in trouble. But for now, I'll be back probably not on Thursday. Depends what time. It might be an early stream on Thursday. But if not, I will see you at the weekend. My parents are coming to visit, so I'll probably be out of action for a few days. In the meantime, check out the YouTube channel for the latest from the Minecraft Survival Guide. And until then, I will see you guys then. Take care. Bye for now.